I call to order the 1602nd meeting of the General Student Senate and the second meeting of the 47th session. Notice that this meeting is being broadcast via Zoom and the recording will be publicly available on YouTube. I'll now read the land acknowledgement. The University of Maine recognizes that it's located on Marsh Island of the homeland of the Penobscot Nation, where issues of water and territorial rights and encroachment upon sacred sites are ongoing. Penobscot homeland is connected to the other Wabanaki tribal nations, the Passamaquoddy, Maliseet, and Mi'kmaq, through kinship, alliances, and diplomacy. The university also recognizes that the Penobscot Nation and other Wabanaki tribal nations are distinct, sovereign, legal, and political entities with their own powers of self-governance and self-determination. Now the clerk please call the roll.
President Tripp.
Here.
VP Shelmerdine.
Here.
VP Bone.
Here.
VP Lehman.
Here.
VP Thompson.
Here.
VP Fang.
Here.
Director Leclerc.
Here.
Commissioner Stagnitz.
Here.
Representative Britton.
Here.
Director Erica. Here. Advisor Sadelka.
Here.
Senator Vanderwood.
Here.
Senator Schultz.
Here.
Senator St. Pierre.
Here.
Senator DeLorme.
Here.
Senator St. Lawrence.
Here.
Senator Cowan.
Here.
Senator Chapin.
Here.
Senator Santanello.
Here.
Senator Inman.
Here.
Senator Dana.
Here.
Senator Ricker.
Here.
Senator Goodspeed.
Here.
Senator Zimra.
Here.
Senator Balat.
Here.
Senator Van Beek.
Here.
Senator Lemonade.
Here.
Senator Oldfield.
Here.
Senator Rivera.
Here.
Senator Soper.
Here.
Senator Zilog.
Here.
Senator Collmore.
Here.
Senator Sparks.
Here.
Senator Sucker.
Here.
Senator Brady.
Here.
Representative Pellet.
Here.
Representative Brunner.
Here.
Representative Knapp.
Alternate.
Representative Karpinski.
Here.
Representative Fancook.
Here.
Representative Emery. Here. Representative Gamble.
Here.
Representative Ed.
Is it so? Should I pull up?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Representative Tremblay.
Here.
Representative Ferragoda.
Here.
Is there anybody I didn't call?
All right. I'm now looking for approval of the 1/20/2026 minutes in this agenda. Senator DeLorme.
The 1/20/26 minutes on this agenda. Second.
Hearing a second, if it's the pleasure of the Senate, that is adopted. We will now move into general good and welfare, where any non-member may address the GSS for no more than 5 minutes. And if we have any speakers, they can come up to this podium. Do we have any speakers? Seeing none. And also seeing none under 6 through 11, we'll now be moving on to executive reports, starting with the president.
All right, guys. Welcome to Buchanan Alumni House. The setup is obviously a little different. Sorry for the senators and representatives sitting to the side. But this is a really special place, and I'm glad that we could kind of share it for the night. And also for those of you who came to the Student Leadership Gala, thank you. We're hoping to see that happen year after year and really start to engage student orgs with the Alumni Association and just more deeply with student government. And I think this was a good start. So moving into things, for housekeeping, my first thing is I wanted to start with an announcement about meeting with current execs. It's crazy to say, but we are leading up to hiring season already for the next executive team. And maybe I'm a little biased, but I think that we have one of the best executive teams we've ever had. That being said, you have a long time before we really need to kick up that you can take advantage of speaking to these outstanding student leaders who fully understand their positions and can help you too. So if you're interested in any of their positions, please, I encourage you, go meet with them, talk with them, get to know their day-to-day. It'll really prepare you for hiring, but also just to get more involved in student government. And we only have them for a few more weeks, so make sure you take advantage of that. Moving into next, my office hours. For Mondays, it'll be 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. On Tuesdays, I'll be mostly unavailable, and I want to let the Senate know that on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll be in Augusta from 9 a.m. To 4 p.m., which puts me out of the office pretty much all day. That being said, I'm not unreachable, but expect for any meetings or anything that you have to set up with me to be on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That being said, I'm going to complete all my hours, no problem, but I'll be interning at the Senate Majority Office. I'm very excited about that, but I'll be a little less available than I normally am. So Tuesdays unavailable, Wednesdays 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., Thursdays unavailable, and Fridays 10 a.m. to 1:30. Moving into cabinet reappointments, last night I dropped in the chat that I may have to reappoint senators to cabinet. That is not the case. We're all set, we figured it out, so no worries about that. Cabinets will be on 8 a.m. on Wednesdays, our favorite time for cabinet. Can't seem to escape it. So those of you who are representatives, make sure if you can't make that, to help, to get in touch with me and we can figure out an alternate. If that doesn't work, we'll figure something else out. But we are moving into Student Leadership Scholar review session, which is super exciting, which means they won't be on Google Meet, which they normally will be. Tomorrow, they're going to be in person as well as next week from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. in the Senate chambers near the Wade Center. So if you don't know where that is, just come by the student gov offices and we'll help you get there. But DPFA Bo approved my request to have munchkins there. So at least that's exciting. Gives you something to look forward to in the morning. Moving into old business, we are still in the search for the next student UMS trustee. Application deadline is February 1st. Interviews will take place February 2nd through 5th, and a name needs to be provided by February 6th. Senator Dana and Representative Frago Dumch will be serving as on the selection committee, so thank you so much for that. We'll be figuring that out. We'll get more information in that. We currently have one applicant. An email went out yesterday via campus groups, and I don't think everybody got it, which is why I hate using campus groups for emails, but here we are. So my advice to you all is to push that as much as you can. This is a big deal. This is the first chance, again, that Orono has to have their undergraduate or graduate student body directly represented. Of course, the trustee is supposed to represent everybody, don't get me wrong, but it's just a really exciting time for our student body in terms of leadership opportunities. So yes, please push that and send it to anybody you think would be a good fit for that. Now, moving into reflections on previous goals. If you remember the last week, I said that executives will be coming to this meeting to reflect on the goals they set out last semester, to kind of talk them through and see where we can go and what we need to meet. Next week, they'll be coming with their new goals and some action items on how to complete them. But I think this is a good way to kind of check on ourselves halfway through the semester. So I'll run through that really quick. My first goal was expanding student representation. So far this semester, we've moved forward with the college SAB projects, thanks to mostly the work of Vice President Shelmerdine. And we will be meeting with the president and deans to see that kind of through with other colleges, which is huge. On top of that, we secured 2 additional presidential advisory committee appointments, another major increase for undergraduate representation on campus. We established 1-on-2s between the student body president, vice president, and the university president as precedent. Again, major. We're in the midst of scheduling those this semester, but they will be happening. We also reestablished SEED, established AOC, and all the work of our representatives, of course, and moving forward with brand new representative courts. So in that case, I think we've done pretty good. The next goal I had was finish streamlining processes. I will be coming soon to the Senate with a brand new hiring policies document. Mark my words, it will come. But that will be, I think, the second to last document that we haven't fully revamped, which is huge. I'll also be coming through with some financial policy updates. Another thing that I have on here is draft and propose and improve student selection, or trustee selection policy to the BOT. Haven't done that yet, but we plan to, so put that in the not just yet column. As well as I said, we wanted to evaluate positions and how they can be better utilized to set up. Vice President Fang has been doing a lot of work in kind of reimagining and figuring out what the VPSL looks like day to day, and I think it's really helped us in the office. And now we're kind of in a situation where we may be talking about the clerk, but we'll leave that to later. Next goal, to solidify the syllabus bank project. The goals I had set out was passed and authored an initial resolution through UMSG, which we did, passed the graduate senate, which we did, and I've now met with multiple times with leadership, the provost office, faculty senate, so I think that we're going to get through there, but again, put that in the not finished just yet column. And the last thing I have on here is supporting student entertainment. Which I think that we are well on our way of doing. I encourage you all to get involved this semester. It's a huge semester, and I'm, like I said way at the beginning, this year is student entertainment's year, and us as an organization across the board should be taking that seriously. So make sure, if you're not directly involved, you're talking to folks about the concert and getting people excited about that. All right, so those are my goals, and I will come with some updated ones next week. Moving on to new business, clerk decision. After a few days of consideration and discussing with Sean, BJ, and others, I've decided not to replace the clerk this semester until the regular period. BJ is more than willing and knows what needs to get done, and it actually will streamline things this semester within the office. You can ask him about that if you'd like. We can open up some questions if anybody has them directly for him, but the main reason is not wanting to lose any ground on something that's unnecessary. If we did this hiring process, we would have to turn around and immediately do it again. We would be taking some time up of two of our vice presidents who are going to be very busy already. And while it does save us money, it's not exactly what we need to do right now. But I do think that this would also long-term better equip the office to train clerks in the future, which I think BJ would be more than happy to do after he moves on from this, and also allow us to consider the clerk position more broadly, which is a position that we constantly struggle with either maintaining or hiring. So I'm going to continue that conversation here. And of course, if you guys would like to discuss this, you're more than happy to either add a 10-minute discussion or ask me at the end of this. Last thing, good neighbor update. So former Senator Elliott and I will be meeting with the town council soon about a timeline for a quicker resolution of changes to the noise ordinances. The town council is committed to getting things done by the end of the year. Previously, they told us that they were going to wait to do any changes until the summer. You can remember why that is a problem, because none of us would be here, and that was the whole point of the committee relationship. So we got that sorted, and I will be bringing the next Orono Town Council liaison, who I assume will be electing tonight, into the fold of that as well. So that is the end of my report.
For my report, I'm going to start with some of the goals that I set out for last semester. The first being establishing the student advisory boards. For this, I can say we were very successful with the engineering college. As I said last week, we ended last semester with an 80-page comprehensive report of the college holistically, not only for what we thought was needed improvement, but different ways that we could reach out from department to department to really strengthen the community. And this is something that went over very well within the dean's department, and also the external advisory board, which I presented to right before the semester came to be. I'm really excited for this to now be rolled out for the other colleges as well. And I'd like to look to all of you for leadership when I do present these to the deans, because there is multiple different roles, and I would love to see you guys be able to take an interactive part of your own colleges, so you are better equipped as senators for your college to represent them. For services, I had a couple projects that I wanted to help the services chair out, and things that I started last semester that I really want to see follow through. And this included lighting, sidewalks, pedestrian safety, and parking. For lighting, we had we had the lighting walk last semester. I believe it was 80 around Senator 86 lights and issues that were found during that walk, that were then presented to facilities. And as a great step forward for making infrastructure change on this campus. Also, the conversations started with the blue lights. For sidewalks, also private conversations, which was then revealed to all of you during our very last meeting last semester with Joel Farley, when he announced that he was looking to replace all the sidewalks around the mall, which is something that I'd been talking to admin in private for a while, and I didn't realize that they were going to roll it out at that time. But that was super exciting. And again, it's one of my goals that it will come to fruition sooner than later. Pedestrian safety, we talked about the speed humps, but it was too late in the season to get something rolled out like that, because once they put them down, we would have had to take them right up for plowing. And so that's why there was the pedestrian signs that were put out in the road, just as like an interim solution. But they are looking to put out those speed bumps in the areas that we suggested, and also other areas as well. And they're looking into more longer term solutions rather than those rubber ones. And so I was really thrilled to see the action taken from administration on that. And then lastly, with parking, there was this discussions last semester and promises made of satellite lots. And I will be holding auxiliary services to those promises, as we've seen that they have not been rolled out or held currently. I have meetings with Joe Farley and Dick Young coming soon. We're gonna hopefully establish bi-weeklies with them, because this is something that I really don't want to fall behind on, because this is one of the things that not only have I promised you all, the student body, but also something I'm very passionate about, because this also has to do with accessibility, and that has been forgotten too much on this campus. I also promised more structure for the committees as well, and this is something I hope to really improve upon this semester by handing off part of the attendance to VP Fang. And so I'm able to spend a lot more time with each of the committee chairs one-on-one on how I can best support them to do more and to really get them out into the greater student body, so they know, the student body knows what these committees are doing and how they can get involved even if they're not senators. I have lastly, just out of the blue, for develop a way for research labs on campus to more broadly advertise to prevent pigeonholing. And so this is something that I put into the student advisory boards for the career and industry. And this is something that we're currently working on. And when the SAB boards do roll out, this problem can be solved through the infrastructure that I've helped create. And then one of the other promises I made was for the dress code and also the devices used during Senate meetings. And for the dress code, I have talked with Sean, and if it's approved through EBC, we'd be developing a clothing closet here. However, the only issue would be, not issue, but it would be different from normal, as in where you could only sign out pieces of clothing and then you'd have to give them back, because we're not allowed to buy items for individuals. And so this would be something where we would have a small collection here, and if it doesn't work out for you, please come and ask me for specific things, and we'd be able to provide them to you, because as we want to have a very professional setting here, but we also want to have accessibility to these options. So that is all my goals, and we will now be moving on to the Vice President of Financial Affairs.
Hello, everyone. A few things to start this semester. My office hours this semester will primarily be Tuesdays from 10 to 12:30 and from 2:30 to 4:30. Thursdays from 1:45 to 5:15, and Fridays from 10 to 11 and then 12:15 to 1:30. But I am available on Mondays through my booking link. I just won't be in the office. Again, as a reminder to everyone, EBC will be at 1:30 on Fridays, with paperwork submission deadline for a funding request form on Thursdays at noon, if it wants to be considered for the week. In relation to my goals last semester, number one, my first goal was using graphs to better visualize funding, and I feel like I was able to do that, and I intend to pick it up either next week or the week after, just when we don't have a lot of nominations and stump speeches on the agenda. And I hope everybody liked that, and if you have any ideas for how I can do it better, if you saw it last semester, let me know. My second goal was to assess the value that the students put towards the events that we fund. I feel like having some club presentations come in was able to help me towards that, but I do look forward to being able to put in a question in the end of the year survey that goes out just to better gauge that for any future UPFAs. Three, I wanted to facilitate more better experiences for a constituency, so that they could have, or then they would have during their college term if we were not put in charge of the student activity fee. I feel that we're doing pretty well on that. I've been pretty happy with the events that we put on, lots of conferences that people may not be able to go to if it weren't for the funding that we were able to provide. So in general, I feel like we're good working towards that. My fourth goal, which was working with clubs on campus to provide showcases of what a club does in a manner that provides entertainment for the rest of the constituency. I wanted to see more events, like maybe the drag show or Mr. Fraternity, where one club puts on this big entertaining event. I haven't really seen that, even though I've reached out to a few clubs. And so I would hope that those events that take place this spring kind of encourage it for the future. And any other clubs. And then for my traditional report, there has been no movement of money in any way other than President Tripp requesting for munchkins, but that comes out of his presidential discretionary fund. And to report.
Now for the Vice President of Student Organizations.
Hey guys, to start, my office hours are Monday 2 to 4, Tuesdays 2 to 3 and 5 to 6, Wednesday 1 to 4, and Thursday 11 to 12 and 2 to 3. As for my goal reflections, my main goal is rep boards. I wanted to ensure that all boards have a sitting representative, which is true as of this meeting. I wanted to see the establishment of SEED, AOC, and the club sports board. Two of these things happened last semester. Club sports is still a work in progress, but I have a meeting with the officers again tomorrow. I wanted to revise the sort, which is not something I ended up getting to last semester, but I do plan to this semester, and I'll be working with the new polycro chair on that. I wanted to make sure that the SOC process is easy to understand, and I think the handouts I've made with the help of DOT and Claire have helped the process. I also want to create a standardized template for notes. I haven't done that yet, but it shouldn't be complicated. I'm also working on building a VPSO Google Drive for my successors for years to come, and this will be a good place to house all things SOC related. If you're interested in my position, reach out to me and report.
Vice President of Student Entertainment.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I don't know how far to hold this. Is this good?
Yeah.
I hope that you had a great first week and a great snow day yesterday. I'm going to start with my traditional report and go into my goal reflections. First, we had 262 tickets used last week at Blackbird Cinemas. So far, we have used 3,430, which is 1,000 less than we had at this time last year. So the year that we have more money is the year that we're less on track, I guess. I don't know. So that's funny. But please make sure to tell all your friends to use this program and that it's back up and ready to be used this year, this semester, my bad. I haven't received another bill from Maine bound yet, but I will report those when I get those, because I think those are very important information to have. We announced the concert date and location on Insta last week, which is very fun. Make sure to tell all your friends about it, and tell them to stay tuned for the announcement of the opener and headliner. With that being said, involvement in the concert is entirely based on you being involved in SEC. So if you're interested in being involved in the concert, you have to join SEC. Also, there is an election tonight for an SEC member. If you're interested in the concert or also my job, please join SEC in this regard, because I plan on very much giving the elected senator as much information about my job and ABPSC Hall's job as possible. With that being said, I think that's a good segue into my goals from last semester. My first one was to work on the Student Entertainment Committee. We tabled a lot last semester like I wanted to, and while no one from outside student government joined, we did have a lot of people say that they were very interested and say that they would stop by the office, even though I don't think they ever did. But I think that that's still very important, because that just means that we're like in their heads, you know, that people are thinking about student entertainment and thinking of ways that they can get involved. I also got James Salidas, who works in CSI, to join Student Entertainment Committee. He has signed an NDA, do not worry. But I think that this is a big step forward in understanding like how we, as a not just Student Entertainment Committee, but student entertainment on this campus works. We partner with them on a lot of events and help them afford some of the equipment that we use to provide students funds. So I think it's very important to have the person from CSI on this committee. I also co-authored the bill for the elected SEC member to be worth 2 points, and that passed. So I think that these things have all helped guarantee the longevity of SEC and student entertainment as a whole. Next, my focus was on the concert. My big goals were just to upscale it. And again, like I said, last week we made an announcement on the Insta. We're going to be having it at the Cross Insurance Center in Bangor, which I think is a huge step up, especially for a venue. The seatage wise, just we get a lot more seats, and that's great. And the venue people will also be able to get a lot more seats to sell. So that'll be a big plus. The show budget in general went from about 60K from the previous 2 years to 250K for this year. So that's a huge jump in budget. And also, while I can't disclose it yet, or probably ever, the artists are going to be a big jump up too. So that's very exciting. So these are all huge steps into bringing students what they're paying for their student activity fee, and that is a good concert. And lastly, my goal was wanting to promote others. And while I don't feel like I really achieved this last semester, I really plan on achieving it this semester. My goal, like I have said, is to really work with you guys and people that join SEC to put on events and to just help you guys as much as possible to put on the events that you guys want to see. So please feel free to join SEC if you have any event ideas, and I can help you plan an event, figure out what you want to see on campus. You can also talk to ABPSC Hall about those things, because they are also very knowledgeable. I should have included ABPC halls, office hours on this, but I didn't. But I will next week. But my office hours are Mondays, 11 to 12, Tuesdays, 12:30 to 5, Wednesdays, 11 to 12 and 1 to 4, and Thursdays, 12:30 to 3. While I do not have office hours on Friday, I am completely free in the afternoon, so if you guys ever do need to book me on Friday, please feel free to reach out. My goal this semester is just to be as open of a book as possible for you guys and to give you as much knowledge as possible. End of report.
Vice President of Student Leadership. Yes, please.
Ready to get used to this.
We thought I might be a little scary. Hi all, this week I've been focused on modernizing the new Senator Welcome Packet, as well as sorting through the scholarship applications to be ready for cabinet tomorrow morning. The final count was 141 applications. This week I'm preparing for the org fair, as well as picking up some projects related to our nonprofit status that I put on hold last semester. My goals that I set last semester were to revamp the position of the VPSL and to grow UMSG's reach. In terms of the revamping, I've been really focused on defining the position and the responsibilities of VPSL in a lot of ways. Like, for example, this year, some of you guys may not know, the main campus UMSG article now gets sent to us beforehand. And as a VPSL, I edit that and make sure that everything is as accurate as I can with a lot of Keegan's help. And in my role assisting the other VPs, such as VP Schoenstein said, taking over some of her responsibilities with senators or just helping people like VPSL Thompson out with certain tasks from the office. Another big focus I've had is merchandise, specifically the kind we've been giving out. I emphasized last semester to Senate, to President Tripp, that I really wanted to focus on merchandise that people would use and that you would see on campus. And with that, I've gotten stuff like lanyards and bottle openers and glass wipes. Finally, my office hours are going to be Mondays and Wednesdays, 3 to 5:30. Tuesdays, Thursdays, 11 to 12 and 4 to 5, and then Fridays from 12 to 2.
Advisor to Student Government. I realized I forgot to give my office hours, so I'm gonna do that right now. On Mondays, it's 9:30 to 11, and then 12 to 2. On Tuesdays, it's 2 to 3. And then on Fridays, it is 12 to 3. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, I am, 2 days. I'm sorry. On Wednesdays, it's 10 to 11. And then on Thursdays, it's 11 to 12:30. Are there any questions for the speakers?
I would like to announce the ABPSE's office hours are Mondays and Wednesdays, 11:30 to 11:15 to 3:15.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Seeing none, we'll move on to pure reports, where I will actually read off the descriptions for each, because I think it would be kind of difficult for every person to have the mic and waiting for that to be passed around. So I'm going to start with the Faculty Senate Student Representative. When I pull it up. Also, if something is egregiously off, raise your hand. But I'm just going to do it this way so it's easier. For the Faculty Senate Representative, this position is in between UMSG and the Faculty Senate. This representative sits on the Faculty Senate meetings to observe and take notes. Then they report back to the Senate, including all important points in their report. The Faculty Senate meets every third Wednesday of the month from 3 to 4:30 p.m. If any confusion about what information is relevant, ask the President, Vice President of Student Government, or the Vice President of Student Leadership for clarification. Next, for the University of Maine Board of Trustees, Student Representative, you report.
Hi, everyone. So I think I'll go over my goals first and then move on to the board meeting report. So my first goal was to create an opportunity for students and trustees to have meeting, and this was supposed to be the lunch, which unfortunately got snowed out. So I was on track to meet that goal, and unfortunately it did not happen, and it will not happen as there's not another board meeting at UMaine this year. And I don't think, unless they decide to hold the July meeting in person, which is usually on Zoom, there won't be another one until next year, so hopefully I could just set the next step up with the right channels to make it happen. Secondly, was to write the student trustee selection policies and the hiring process. President Tripp and I have put work into it. We did not do nothing, but the hiring timeline ended up being different than we anticipated, and that had to take a front seat. So we made some progress, and there will be more. And thirdly, I wanted to just sort of demystify the Board of Trustees and have students feel like we know what's going on, and we know what decisions are being made, and we know how those decisions are made. I hope that you have a better understanding than you did at the start of the year. And if not, feel free to come talk to me. And if you feel like you totally get it and you want to be part of it, you should apply to the trustee position, because it is a really big deal. Anyways, for the board meeting this Monday, in public comment, there were many speakers about preserving Crosland Hall and the Franco-American Center. As you saw in the Senate chat, I wish that the system had been better for signing up. Luckily, they did open a waiting list, and I think just about everyone who had been on the waiting list got to speak. In the President's Roundtable, one interesting thing, UMF has created working groups of students who are looking to address the changing higher ed climate. So they have 4 or 5 different categories that they have these student working groups in that are kind of polling the whole campus about the future of the university, which on a fairly big scale, which I thought was interesting. For UMaine, the Zillman family donated quite a bit of money to the art gallery and the honors college, which is cool. And we also have acquired a new mass spectrometer. I honestly don't even really know what that is, but I think it's cool. Up at UMFK, they will be having their annual dog sled race February 28th. I plug this every year. I've never been, but I would love to go. I think that seems cool. So then in terms of board activities, the board did authorize the chancellor to enact the collective bargaining agreement as agreed upon since the last board meeting. UMA and UMFK will be joining Division III athletics. Funding was approved for Barrows Hall for a chiller. The Morse Arena project, the funding has increased. So that funding now is up to $106 million. The $3 million for the removal of Crosland Hall Alumni Center was approved, along with the funding for the expansion to Wells, Dunn, and Corbett parking lots, and the realignment and improvements to Long Road. The BOT also stated that they support the importance of a vibrant Franco-American Center, and that the University of Maine must provide biannual reports to the board regarding the relocation and sustainability of the Franco-American Center. And then lastly, they authorized the UMS system to purchase 7 custom houses in Portland for $20 million. In the report.
Chair of the Fair Election Practices Commission.
Hello, everyone. So I'll start with my goals from last semester. So the first one was to go through my guidelines and fully renovate them. They're basically finished. They're gonna take a back burner while we deal with election stuff, and then right after that, they should be coming up. So you guys can see that. The second one was to work on helping different organizations with their elections. I have assisted in a couple organizations. I've helped them, given advice. I did today. I'm hoping to solidify a deeper plan to, how that can be done more mainstream in the future. And then I'm gonna add that all into my guidebook that I've created for the next FEPC. So that'll all be written out, and hopefully it will be a little smoother of a process if folks want to come in and get help with the election. And then kind of just some tips on how to help them. In my third goal last semester was to run a successful election, which we didn't end up going to senator elections. But this is gonna be a big goal of mine this semester. I want to keep everyone engaged and keep everyone's mind on UMSG. I'm gonna be working on this throughout this semester. You're gonna hear a lot from me, and I'm gonna bug all of you a lot. But my first project for this election is to work on some I voted stickers. I wanna make some fun ones that kind of draw people in and hopefully will get some engagement and I don't know, shed some light on UMSG that we're fun students, not just people sitting at a table. So if you have any designs that are a little silly, send them to me. My office hours this semester are Tuesdays from 4:20 to 6. And then on Wednesdays, they'll be from 12 to 1:30. And then FEPC is going to meet from 4:30 to 5:30 on Tuesdays. So right before Senate. So feel free to pop into any meetings, even if you're not, coming every week, and share your ideas or opinions on whatever I'm doing. And then also this is not really related to my position, but on the 1st is the deadline for applying to graduate. So if you're planning to graduate in May, I would encourage you to fill that out sooner rather than later or add it to your calendar. It takes like 2 minutes. And the instructions to do it are on the commencement website, but it's super easy. And of course,
For the Student Legal Services Liaison, this position meets with Sean O'Mara, our lawyer, as often as needed to check in on what he's doing and other general information, then reports the content of those meetings back to the Senate. They also are the main point of contact between Sean and the Senate, so all legal inquiries will be asked through legal representative. For the representative of the Graduate Student Senate, I'm scrolling. The position is the in-between of UMSG and the Graduate Student Senate. This representative sits on the GSG meetings to observe and take notes. They then report back to the Senate, include all important or relevant points in the report. The GSG meets bi-weekly on Fridays at 5 p.m. If you have any confusion on what information is relevant, ask the president, vice president, student government, or the vice president of the student leadership for clarification. For the Orono Town Council Liaison, this position sits on the Orono Town Council and works with the mindset of giving the UMaine student perspective and aiding said students. They report with their work back to the Senate, plus all relevant information. The Orono Town Council meets every second and fourth Monday of each month at 5 p.m. Is that still correct?
Yep.
This is an off-campus position, so access to a car is very helpful. If you have any confusion on what information is relevant, ask President, Vice President, or VP of Student Leadership. For the Old Town Council representative, this position sits on the Old Town Council and works in the mindset of doing UMaine student. It's the same position as Orono, but just for Old Town. And the council meets on the first Monday of each month at 6 p.m. For representative of military and veteran student affairs, is in between of the student government and the military and veteran presence on campus. They speak to all that fall under that category. For example, the ROTC groups for military students. They report their findings back to the Senate and aid those organizations when they can. They're responsible for aiding Orono Town Sexton Mike Smart and the fire department with veteran flag replacement on the Friday before Memorial Day. Now, Director of Communications.
Oh, this is good. Perfect. All right, just want to reiterate my office hours again, 12 to 4 Monday and 12 to 4 Wednesday. This week, my hours for yesterday will be held Friday, due to the snow day, so just wanted to let you all know that. So kind of going into my goals I set for last semester, one big one was around just posting consistency. When I came into the role, I saw that in the past, we haven't been super consistent about making multiple posts a week, so my goal is to make at least 2 which we were able to maintain most of the semester. And a lot of the time we surpassed that, making 4 to 5 posts a week at times. Just to give you guys a little bit of insight, we generated a total of 235,000 views on reels and posts last semester. So I thought that was really cool, kind of to put a number on that. Another goal of mine was to incorporate short form video content. I really thought this would help us generate more overall great engagement. I noticed that a lot of people in our demographic consume short form real content a lot. This past semester, we posted 6 short form videos generating over 25,000 views. This is something I want to keep working on this semester. Had a lot of ideas that I didn't get around to regarding that last semester, and I really want to work to get those done this semester. Some of those include highlighting representative boards as well as highlighting some of our executive committees like SOC, SLC, BBC, etc. As for my report this week, last week I made a post about the president and vice president applications, as well as a post announcing the date and venue of the concert, which D.B. Lehman talked about. We also started to think about how we will advertise for the concert. Once we get more information from artists, we'll start working on that. This week I'm meeting with Alex on Friday to work on the Shack Spotlight, which should hopefully come out sometime next week. I'll also be working on the format and design for the new UMSG in the Wild initiative, and we'll be sending a form to fill out for that soon. I see this taking place of the Meet the Senator post in a sense. However, if there are any new senators who weren't senators last semester or didn't have a post made about them last semester and would like that, please just reach out to me and I can happily send you the form and we can get rolling on that. Also, if you're a new senator and you want a headshot, just let me know and feel free to use my booking link. I'll be setting my committee time by next meeting. I still have to talk to VP Shelmer about specifics. But if you want to be on that, reach out to me so we can find a time that will work for everyone. And your report. Thank you.
Director of Technology.
Hey everyone. So for my office hours, I have Tuesday 11 to 2, Monday 3 to 5, and Thursday 11 to 2. So for my main goal was working on the UMSG website. I have completely reworked some of the pages, executives and senators page, and almost all the pages got minor updates. We added a new page where we upload all the resolution that get passed in the Senate. This is a continuous process. I have a meeting with UMSG consultants, not UMSG, Human Digital Consultancy Service for how we can improve it more. For my next goal, we have worked, we added a process in the campus group to directly send user to the UMSG site for funding request. Next, for committee meetings, we fixed some laptops. You can sign out the laptops from BJ if you want to do meetings remotely. And for my next goal, I started working on a formal onboarding document for future technology directors. There are more work to be done. That's
For the University of Maine Security Representative, this position keeps in contact with campus police. They also attend the Security Council, which has Zoom meetings every third Thursday of the month. They address campus issues with police and other relevant contacts. They keep in mind the safety of the student body and prioritizes the betterment of our community. They also act as a liaison for the UVAC, which is bi-weekly meetings, which is to be determined. Does anyone have the time for those meetings this semester? To be determined still. The Center of Undergraduate Research Liaison. This is a solitary position. They must represent the student government on the staff-run Student Symposium Advisory Committee and the Student Symposium Executive Committee. They also inform the Senate about research opportunities, scholarships, and anything else pertaining to undergraduate research. Are there any questions for the periodic reports or anything they'd like to add?
Question for VP Shumagai, what time did you say the graduate student senate met at?
Right, that was, I actually said the wrong time because it was yet to be updated. It is 3 to 4, not 5 to 6. Any other questions? Seeing none, we'll move on to the standing committees, starting with policy and procedure. This position oversees the Policy and Procedure Committee. This committee reviews submitted policies before they go to the Senate. The chair will lead the meeting, just like Senate meetings, with formal votes. They help draft policies and need to have a general knowledge of the rules of the Senate to understand the changes that are being made. For Services Chair, this position addresses student infrastructure and maintenance issues. Reaching out to the right resources, they'll do their best to solve these issues. They also chair their own committee where they can write resolutions to go through the Senate and are in charge of the annual call in the spring. For Academic Affairs, this position chairs their own committee and presides over all academic issues being brought to the Senate. They can pass their own resolutions to aid in the student population for all things academic. They'll take the feedback from students, bring that back to their committee, and decide on the best course of action. They also meet with the provost weekly to discuss the ongoing progress of the UMaine academia. Are there any questions for the standing committees? For reports of the special committees, starting with holistic health and wellness. If you're reading off of, oh, never mind, it was changed. The Holistic Health and Wellness Committee works to enhance wellness conditions on campus, supporting the needs of undergraduate students. They shall advocate for student wellness in all forms on campus while spreading awareness of these issues in the community. The HHWC shall have jurisdiction over students' well-being on campus. For the Food and Dining Affairs, this position keeps in contact with Sodexo and the dining halls. They work on fixing issues in the dining facilities. They also chair a committee that aids the chair with idea generation, planning, feedback, and anything else that the committee deems necessary. They then report their committee's events back to the Senate. For Undergraduate Student Symposium, this position may represent the student government on the staff-run Student Symposium Advisory Committee and the Student Symposium Executive Committee. They must also hold a committee of their own whose purpose is to get undergraduate feedback on how to better run the annual student symposium, and with the help of advertising, overall advice, and anything else the community deems necessary. For Voter Involvement and Education Committee, the Voter Involvement and Education Committee is a collaborative effort to spread voter awareness on campus. VIE is strictly nonpartisan. The Voter Involvement and Education Committee shall be responsible for serving as an active resource for students on campus to learn more about the United States government and the voting process in a comprehensive, nonpartisan manner. For the Non-Traditional Commuter and Transfer Students Committee, it's not.
Senator Schultz, want to jump in on that?
Sure, essentially you're working with commuter, non-traditional transfer students and making sure that they are adequately represented on this campus and doing everything we can to help them, and working with the people at the Wayne Center who are doing commuter things, First Friday bagels and other events.
Thank you. Are there any questions for the special committees? All right, well, Senator Sparks.
I very much forgot about cans. I will drop the resolution that created it into the chat, so there's a better description of it.
Any more questions? All right, we'll be moving on to the representative board report, starting with the Honors College Student Leadership Council.
Hi, everyone. I'm sorry that was so loud. I have no report except that my office hours are Thursday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. End of report.
Interfraternity Council.
Yeah, so we have the student involvement fair this Friday where there will be a table for each fraternity chapter. We're gonna try and get better show out than this last semester, which was pretty sad. We have our first meeting tomorrow, which is a joint meeting with Penn Health Council, Wednesday the 28th. Spring recruitment for fraternities has started, it's up and going. And my office hours will be Wednesdays from 9:30 to 1 in the EPSA office report.
Panhellenic Council.
Last Wednesday, we had a successful all Greek meeting and were able to introduce the Panhellenic Council to everyone in attendance. After the all Greek, we had our first Panhellenic meeting and it went and it went great. This Friday from 10 to 2 is the Spring Involvement Fair, and all sororities in the Panhellenic Council will have tables. We hope this will give people who are interested a chance to talk about Greek life and possibly recruit new sisters for the spring semester. We also officially started recruitment and continuous open bidding forum last Saturday for all chapters except chapters who are already at full capacity. End of report.
Student Athletic Advisory Council.
So my office hours are gonna be from 3:30 to 6:15 on Mondays and 4:15 to 5:30 on Wednesdays. All of these are gonna be in the Student Athlete Academic Center, and we have our February meeting next week on Monday at 6 p.m.
Senior Class Council.
My office hours are going to be held from 8 to 10 a.m. on Fridays in the Wade Center. We just released our class of 2026 merchandise pre-order forms yesterday, so we're selling t-shirts for $15 and pipe glasses for $12 each. If you want any more information on how to order that or how to better support the senior class, let me know. I'm happy to report that those sales are going really well. And there are only 102 days left until graduation. And report.
Sustainability Environmental Action Division.
Hello, my office hours are gonna be 2 to 6 p.m. every Monday and are only and is working with the Sustainability Department of Maine to revise the dining hall sustainability plan soon. And we'll put our second annual field day for sustainability based homes later this semester.
Are there any questions for the representative board reports? Seeing none, moving into community association reports, starting with Student Heritage Alliance Council.
SHAC has started the semester with a pretty busy start. Last week we had a very successful meeting where we discussed the direction that SHAC wants to go this semester. Dean of Libraries Daisy Singh is stepping down from the position of advisor at the end of this year. So I'm going to be meeting with Anila Karunakar at the end of the week to discuss somebody from OCC becoming our advisor, which I think would be a very positive step for SHAC. We're in talks of actually doing like our annual SHAC formal, which will be held later on in the semester in April. And we're going to be working very closely with the Black Student Union to put on the hair care fair. We're really trying to make that happen, and more info on that to come. As you guys know, yesterday the BOT had their meeting, and they came to their decision to go ahead with the demolition of Crossland. While many, were very hesitant about that, ultimately, as a president of SHAC, I'm very optimistic for the future about the Franco-American Center outside of Crossland Hall because of the rigorous conversation that was had yesterday. And I know that everybody there really appreciated the amount of time that they put into that. And I did actually prepare a statement which I'm going to be sending out to them, but which I'll read for you guys today. As president of the Student Heritage Alliance Council, I'm tasked to advocate for my constituents, which includes those at the Franco-American Center, who have made my undergraduate experience at the University of Maine vibrant. Through interacting and learning with the staff and students of the Franco-American and French programs, I have seen reflected the soul of my home. I hope that this boon arising from our history will be recognized and nurtured so that future generations can profit from our authentic culture. In light of the decision made yesterday during the BOT meeting, I want to thank Director of Space and Capital Management, Ryan Ward, and Associate Vice President for Facilities and Operations, Joel Farley, for the communication in recent months. Through this long process, we students have been ready to express concerns with the flow of information surrounding capital development projects. Director Ryan Ward has shown much improvement in the way of transparency, having met with Lincoln Tyner, UMSG Vice President Cynthia Shelderman, and myself. And on behalf of those affected by this decision, I applaud the progress made on the front of communications, which I see as being spurred on by the general student body and the diligence of UMSG President Keegan Tripp, UMSG Vice President Cynthia Shelderman, and the respectable senators of UMSG in this room. It's with the love of our state of Maine that we students have advocated for the oldest building on campus to be preserved. Just as fine art, Crossland Hall depicts in its history the immense competence of the University of Maine as an institution that fosters leadership, innovation, and pride of state. We recognize that those tasked with the future of the university have thoughtfully considered all alternative options and have found them to be untenable. The Student Heritage Alliance Council, the body of cultural clubs at the University of Maine, wants to extend our deepest gratitude to the Board of Trustees for listening to the comments of my constituents and key members of the community whose voices we have felt have been not heard previously. It's been our pleasure advocating for them, and we will continue to do so. Thank you all. Thank you in this room. I'll also be having my office hours on Fridays from 2 to 4 o'clock. Thank you. End report.
Thank you. Wildstein, the Clear Straight Alliance.
My office hours will be Mondays from 12:30 to 2:30 in the Wade Center. And a report.
International Student Association. Accessibility on campus.
Our first accessibility on campus's first regular meeting will be on 4 p.m. at 4 p.m. next Friday on Zoom. I will be posting that link on campus groups in a few days. My regular office hours will be starting next week in the Wade Center from 1 to 2 on Mondays and Tuesdays, and then from 2 to 3 on Wednesdays. I do have office hours this week. They're just really wonky, so please email me if you have any or want to attend those. And report.
Are there any questions for the Community Association reports? President Tripp.
Great. I have a point of information. Just before we move on, and I know that obviously the decision on Crosland Hall has been made final, but I wanted to read an update about the Spruce Bud Lab, which we also wrote the resolution about. So this is from Dr. Meck, the director. Hi, Keegan and Cynthia. Over the last few days, I have been communicating with my dean and stakeholders. The dean has secured additional space in Deering Hall that would allow us to conduct our spruce budworm research while maintaining the monitoring program at the service level we have been able to do this year following our expansion in ESL. We will know more once the new space and work, once we see the new space and work on the designs, but I remain optimistic and stakeholders support the new developments. I wanted to thank you for your advocacy for the lab and for the students who work there and wish you all the best with your continued efforts. So it may have not been the outcome that many of us wanted, but I do want to say that even if we don't get everything that we want, advocacy is super important. I really do think that the expansion of space is in no small part us raising the alarm about maybe plans not being fully considered. And I think this is all a good move forward. And I'm also glad to hear that the Board of Trustees is invested in hearing updates to ensure that when the Spruce Budworm moves out and the Franco-American Center moves in, that everything is, promises are kept, which was certainly the goal. Thank you.
Are there any more questions for the Community Association reports? Seeing none, if it's a pleasure to the Senate, we'll now move into a 5-minute recess, reconvening at 7:03.
So I apologize, everyone, because my phone battery decided to go. So I'm going to be using my computer for tonight. Hello, everybody. I hope you're all having a good day thus far. It is week 2 and things are heating up. I have an internal policy of ushering progress and improvement upon myself every day. I aspire to join the Faculty Student Senate since last year when I first joined, as I believe that it would be a major accomplishment that could garner fulfillment, and I believe I would be a great pick for such. Along with the notion of continuous improvement, I also have a tendency to constantly raise the bar with every accomplishment. Though exhausting, it can be actually helpful in pushing myself to try new things. So being elected as the Faculty Senate representative would be quite the cup of tea. And I believe it will look fairly cool on the veterinary school resumes. Furthermore, my plans for how I would be a beneficial figure for the position are as follows. Firstly, I would take the time to read the Constitution and the bylaws of the Faculty Senate, as they are different from ours. And secondly, I would ensure that I meticulously take notes and relay any proper information and guidelines back to the Senate. I suppose I have some prior knowledge of this notion, as it pragmatically has the general idea of Graduate Student Senate and its duties. Obviously, there are differences, but they share many similarities. Attending the meetings and taking notes is just one of them. And I would be quite qualified for this. I won the 8th grade typing contest, so I'm very good at record keeping when it comes to faster paced meetings like this. I would adjust my mood and tone to a higher level of formality for them, as they are in a different environment, which I have done previously when attending church or an agricultural 4-H meeting, for instance. So overall, I would apply myself as the best possible asset to this position when given the opportunity, and I will do my very best to assist anyone with anything on both ends of the coin while serving this role.
Senator Dana?
Hello, oh, sorry, that was loud. I figured I would just do a quick introduction because there's a lot of new faces this semester. Hi, my name is Elena, or Senator Dana here, I suppose. And so for the the faculty senate representative position, I think it would be really interesting to see how differently they operate towards us, like Senator Villatt mentioned in his speech. And I think being a freshman and being elected to this position would definitely kind of give me more room to grow alongside the faculty senate and kind of build those different relationships with them. And I'll keep this brief because I know we have a lot of speeches to get to today. Thank you.
Senator Goodspeed?
Hello, everyone. My name is Abigail Goodspeed, and this is my first term as a senator. I'm a wildlife ecology and marine sciences double major, and I'm very excited to be running for the position of faculty senate student rep. I'm running because I feel this position would be a great way to stay aware of not only what the students at the university care about, but also what the faculty cares about. I believe I would be a good fit for this position because in the past I have served as a student representative on my high school boards and on the Maine Department of Education student cabinet. These opportunities have allowed me to understand what it means to be a student rep and how to take adequate notes during meetings. If elected, I would use my organizational and time management skills to take detailed notes during the meetings and report back on the important discussions being held that would affect the student body. Overall, I believe I'd be a good fit for the position because of those previous experience. Thank you.
Now, if you're a senator, please raise your hand where you'll be getting a slip of paper. Where you will be voting for either Villatt, Dana, or Goodspeed.
When you're done voting, hold it up, please.
If you hold the highest, you get 2 votes.
Okay, are there any more? Any more? All right, we'll be moving on to the Student Legal Services Liaison for Senator Zilog. It is currently the only one nominated. Are there any more nominations? At all? Seeing none, congratulations, Senator Zilog. Moving on to the representative of the Graduate Student Senate. Those nominated are Senators Villatt, Cowan, and Rivera. Are there any more nominations?
I would like to rescind my nomination.
Okay. Are there any more nominations? Seeing none, we will start with stump speeches with Senator Villatt.
Okay, some good copy. Hi, everybody. I would love the opportunity to be the representative to the Graduate Student Senate once more. It was really nice connecting with everybody there and seeing how they do things differently as opposed to here. During my time as representative to the Graduate Student Senate in the previous fall 2025 semester, I assisted with filling in the blanks while the graduates were discussing UMSG pertaining topics. This small but subtle role was crucial in fostering greater connections between the two bodies. Granted, some of my information was snatched by other presidential reports. It is still a fulfilling notion nonetheless. Furthermore, it is pleasant seeing some old faces that were formerly a part of the UMSG that are now a part of the GSG there and reconnecting with them. It's always nice whenever President Tripp or VP Shelberdine makes a guest appearance there. And I was placed into this position by default last semester, but I still gave it my all to be a sufficient role model and coordinating figure for the Graduate Student Senate. I hope I can be elected to this position fair and square this time around, and if elected, I will continue my efforts in ushering greater cooperation between the graduate student government and the undergraduate student government. I was talking to the graduate student officers last semester about ways to increase communication and coordination between the two entities. But these talks got cut short due to the end of the semester, so my plans would be to continue these talks with the Graduate Student Senate, hopefully establishing some sort of interpersonal communicative system that could speed up processes, along with assisting the best way I can with any projects that arise between the two parties and officers. I would also keep up my persona of being a neutral voice when things potentially get heated, saving the day in silence.
Thank you. Next, Senator Cowan.
Hi, everybody. If I haven't had the opportunity to meet you already, my name is Casper Cowan. I'm a fourth year here at the University of Maine. Am I too close to my face?
Oh, no, you're good.
Oh, I've been silenced by someone. Anyways, I have a deep appreciation for this body that we sit on, the undergraduate student government. And I also have a deep appreciation for the graduate student government. I had the opportunity to hold this position several semesters ago. And unfortunately, due to my marching band commitments at the time, I wasn't able to give it my all. But I've grown a connection with several of the graduate student senators over the last semester, and I've had the opportunity to talk about the differences between their body and our body in depth. I found it to be really intriguing. The biggest gap I found to be between their student government and our student government is purely communication, reaching out, talking to one another, which I know can be kind of a hard position to be in. We've got senators that are 18 and they have senators that are 25 and older. So that can be older than that, 20, I don't know, I'm not gonna guess. That seems rude. But I just want to say, being a fourth year traditional student, I am compared to the rest of you guys. I am 21. I'm basically their age at this point. I think it would put me in a unique position to kind of bridge that gap in hopefully a slightly less awkward way and make communication between our two bodies better. And my goal would be to set up an event between the undergraduate student government and the grad student government so that not just our execs talk across bodies, but also our senators talk across bodies. Thank you.
All right, put your hands up to get voting slips, and you'll be voting for either Senator Villath or Cowan. Oh, drum roll for the faculty Senate student representative. Senator Goodspeed. Remember, put your hands up high so it's easy for them to see. Are there any more ballots? Okay, any more? We will move on to Orono Town Council Liaison. Currently nominated is Senator Schultz. Are there any more nominations? VP Fang.
I'd like to nominate Senator Sucker.
Second.
Question, what time are the meetings?
Does anyone know off the top of their head before I open the document?
Is it Mondays at 6 p.m.?
The Orono Town Council.
It's 5 to 6 p.m. every other Monday.
Do we think we know when Monday they start? I tried to find out also because it's the second and fourth Mondays of the month.
Yeah, it's second and fourth Mondays each month at 5 p.m.
So to be clear, they changed that because that's not what it was last semester. And then they had them. The old town and Orono were always on the same day last semester.
President Tripp is looking to cross check.
Yeah, second, and fourth Monday.
I accept.
You accept? Okay. Any more nominations? Seeing none, we'll move into some speeches, starting with Senator Schultz.
Hi, everyone. Oh. So, yeah. Okay. Hi, everyone. For those of you that don't know me yet, my name is Marissa Schultz, and I am a junior at the University of Maine. I joined UMSG this fall. I recently moved to Orono, as in like 2 weeks ago, and I'm really excited about the possibility of being the Orono Town Council liaison. I've always been a huge like community member. I love being part of a community. I love knowing what's going on in my community. And I think that University of Maine could use more of a bridge between the two. I live next to families, next to kids, and it's really cool to see everyone in the community coming together, and I'd love to go to those meetings and hear more about it. Yeah. I also work at the school in Orono, so I'm kind of invested in some of the other things that are going on. Yeah, thank you.
Senator Sucker.
Hey, so I think most of you probably don't know me. This is my first semester as a senator. My name is John. I'm a second year microbiology major. Considering I just got nominated for this, I don't really have anything prepared. Didn't really have any time to think. However, I do live on campus, and both the on-campus and local commuters make up a very significant portion of the town of Orono. That being said, I think it's important to represent, the student body's interests. And I have a lot of experience just like talking to people, and I think I'd be a good fit for it. So, thank you.
Put your hands up for a ballot, or you'll be voting for either Senator Schultz or Sucker. Drum roll for the representative to the Graduate Student Senate. Senator Cowan. Are you having fun? I don't know, just kind of quiet.
No, it's fun.
Yeah. Oh.
We can do Jefferson.
Oh, that would drive me insane. Oh, one of the things actually on my senator evaluations was my approachability, and I want to work on that. And so. No, I fear that's kind of just my personality, and I'm sorry. No. I don't know a lost joke, but a fun fact about my day that brought me joy, I had a really good banana coffee at the Bear's Den earlier with a vegan chocolate cake, and that was like the highlight of my day. That's not a big personality boost, but it is something to say during this time. Oh, I also that I recommend that banana coffee to anyone. It's not sweet at all, it's like black. Are there any more ballots that need to be collected? Senator Cowan, did you have a question?
Well, I was gonna ask what makes it banana. Is it like like a flavor syrup or do they put like banana? I would.
It was in the ground coffee, so I got it in that corner when you walk into the Bear's Den. I got it without cream or sugar and it was still really good, but it wasn't like, it was just banana flavored. It wasn't like an overly sweet coffee.
Well, I was just worried about the texture.
There's texture of coffee.
I was picturing a squished banana in it. I mean.
Okay. All right, any more ballots? Seeing none, we'll move on to Old Town City Council Liaison, where currently the only senator nominated is Senator St. Pierre. Are there any more nominations for this position?
Nominate Senator Zewag.
I respectfully decline.
Any more nominations? VP Fang,
I nominate Senator Rivera.
Second.
Senator Oldfield,
I nominate Senator Langenfeld.
Second.
Senator St. Pierre,
Let's see. I nominate Senator Zucker.
Thanks.
Time of the meetings?
It's the 6 o'clock one. It's
Yeah,
Walter,
first
and
and
it's the
third.
opposite of the others.
I respectfully decline.
Senator Cowan.
I nominate Senator St.
Lawrence?
No. What's
Yeah.
that?
There's only
Wait.
one.
No, Santinello.
I respectfully.
I said it.
Are there any more nominations? Seeing none, congratulations to Senator St. Pierre. Drum roll for the Orono Town Council Liaison. Congratulations, Senator Schultz.
We're gonna get good at that. We're gonna get good at that.
Yeah, just look to Keegan for the conducting, please. Thank you. Moving on for Representative of Military and Veteran Student Affairs, currently nominated is Senator Vanderwood. Are there any other nominations? Seeing none, congratulations, Senator Vanderwood. Next is the University of Maine Security Representative, where those nominated is Senator Inman. Are there any more nominations for the security representative? Seeing none, congratulations. Next, for the Center of Undergraduate Research Liaison, those nominated is Senators Weber and Crowley. Are there any more nominations? Senator Weber,
I'd like to rescind the nomination.
already? Are there any more nominations? VP Fang,
I'd like to nominate Senator Lamadrid.
Second.
any more nominations? Seeing none, congratulations, Senator Crowley. Moving on to Policy and Procedures, Standing Committee Chair, where currently Senator Sparks is nominated. Are there any more nominations? Seeing none, congratulations, Senator Sparks. Services Standing Committee Chair, where Senator St. Lawrence is the only one nominated. Are there any more nominations? President Tripp.
I nominate Senator Lamadrid.
Second. I nominate Senator Centinelo.
I respectfully decline.
Any more nominations? Seeing none, congratulations. Next is Academic Affairs Standing Committee, where those nominated are Senator Ricker, Villatte, and Oldfield. Are there any more nominations for this position? Senator Oldfield?
I nominate Senator Lamadrid.
Second.
Senator Villatte?
I'd like to rescind that.
Any more nominations? Seeing none, we'll start with the stump speeches with Senator Ricker.
Lester?
Good evening, everyone. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Kyle Bickle, and I'm a current fifth year political science and education major. And I'm currently applying to grad school to work in education policy, which makes me naturally kind of suited to this position, both from a career sense and also in a personal interest kind of sense. My two main really goals of this position this semester is one, follow up on the service repository on the person who was in this position in the previous semester. And I really like to follow through in making sure that the faculty senate committee that they're making between students and faculty are actually managed to go through and make progress on determining what components should be in the service repository. And the second thing I plan to work on is the provost office wants to set up a full student involvement survey regarding academic and other components of student life. And I would really like to be the person who is involved with that and communicating on behalf of the provost to the general student body that this is something that's trying to get information from. And yeah. So something that makes me, I think, a strong candidate is that I'm always able to kind of go above and beyond for this position. For example, last semester, the last faculty senate academic affairs committee was during finals week on a Thursday. I didn't really have to stay on campus for finals week, but I stayed an extra week around campus just to make sure I can reach that meeting and make sure I actually got to that. And lastly, tomorrow I have a meeting with Dr. Marzulli, and if I show up to that meeting and I'm not academic affairs chair, that'll be kind of awkward. So, yeah, good. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Oldfield.
Hi, everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Elizabeth Oldfield. This is my 5th semester, I think, on Senate. I took a semester off last semester for the School of Marine Science semester by the Sea program, but I served as the Vice President of Student Leadership last semester, last year, the whole year. In terms of the Academic Affairs Committee, I'm involved with a lot of the different colleges on campus. I'm a marine science student, but I'm also a French minor, and I've taken about 18 credits of education courses as well. So I have I have a lot of familiarity with a lot of the different colleges on this campus and all of the advisors involved in each of the colleges. And I also, in terms of what I'd like to do with this position, I think the student advisory board that Vice President Shelmerdine has been working on in the past semester is a really valuable opportunity for the Academic Affairs Committee to incorporate into their work, because those students will have a broad understanding of each of the majors in those colleges and the issues surrounding those, which are directly things that can be reported to the provost. And I'm also familiar with a lot of the student challenges on this campus, including understanding what the courses actually look like, what courses are going to be offered, what courses are still offered, because personally, with my experience just in the School of Marine Science, there are a lot of courses that say they're offered that aren't offered, and I'm sure a lot of you have dealt with that challenge. And so I think that's one of the broader things I'd like to address, which I think directly works into the syllabus bank project as well. Thank you for your consideration.
Senators, please put your hands up to get a ballot. Well, you're right where you will write down either Senator Ricker or Senator Oldfield.
Yeah, I booked myself Dr. Oldfield wasn't.
How many years have you been on the Senate, Kyle?
Okay,
Yes.
I have another fun story as we're leaving. This is something that happened like probably an hour ago. Sorry to be beefing, I am telling everyone this. Yeah, so I really like rocks. There's like, she's a big part of my life. It's a really big part of my life. And I didn't really know what to do earlier during like the social, because I'm not a very social person, and so I went to show BP Fang and my friend Adora the tourmaline collection in the other room. Yeah. And as I'm explaining what watermelon tourmaline is, because that is something that Maine is most known for, is its beautiful gem quality tourmaline. VP Fang thought it'd be a brilliant idea to move the cabinet, which set off an alarm. And the alarm did not stop, and we just kind of walked away. I did tell a trusted adult, don't worry. Is there any other ballots?
Just over. She's leaving out the part where during Keegan's big speech after Tom, I turned around and UAPT was here.
Leaders you can believe in, right? Okay.
Right.
All right, any more ballots? Is there anything? All right, moving on to holistic health and wellness. No, we're not. Sorry. Oh, we are. Sorry. Holistic health and wellness, where currently the only person nominated is Senator Cowan. Are there any other nominations? Senator Cowan.
I nominate Senator Madrid.
Second.
VP Fang,
I nominate Senator Weber. I respectfully decline.
VP Bone,
Nominate Senator Soper.
Second.
I respect.
Senator Oldfield,
I nominate Senator Cullimore.
Second. I respectfully decline.
Senator Cowan,
I nominate Senator Black.
Second.
Okay, I accept. I mean, I respectfully.
Enthusiastic.
Senator Oldfield,
I nominate Senator Bambi.
Second.
I respectfully decline.
VP Thompson,
I nominate Senator Dana.
Second.
I respectfully decline.
VP Fang.
Abigail, do you want it?
You can just feel it.
I nominate Senator Sucker.
Second. I accept.
Any more nominations? VP Bone,
Nominate Senator Zero.
Second. I respectfully decline.
any more nominations? Senator Oldfield,
I nominate Senator Schultz.
Second.
I respectfully decline.
currently nominated is Senator Cowan, Balat, and Sutker. Any more nominations? Seeing none, we'll start with the stump speeches with Senator Cowan.
Hi, everybody. I don't know if you forgot my name, but my name is Casper Cowan. Once again, I am a fourth year student here at the University of Maine, in case you forgot where we are. Mental health as well as holistic health is kind of my bread and butter. I'm really passionate about mental health advocacy. Kind of more a broader life goal for me is to advocate for the restructuring of the mental health care system within the state of Maine. I don't know if you happen to be somebody who's tried to access mental health care within the state of Maine. It's not very great. We have really long waiting lists, and providers are far and few between. We don't have that problem here at the university. We have a fully staffed counseling center. We have the student wellness center. We have so many spaces on campus which are dedicated for student health, full body health, the 7 pillars of health that we put into the restructuring of the Holistic Health and Wellness Committee. If you weren't aware, before last semester, this committee was called the Mental Health Committee, and it didn't really have any direction or any purpose to it. I was really privileged to be one of the people that helped give it that purpose, and I would be honored to continue being one of the people to help give it purpose. I would love to host more events to bring people together. I would also love to get this committee out and more into the public spaces. I would love to do more tabling this semester. I would love to go around to student services, to talk to the students that are actively using those services, see what they appreciate about those services and what they don't appreciate and what we can help them change. Last semester, I sent out a survey which got like 20 responses, so it didn't get pushed very far, and I'm kind of abandoning the technological side. I think what our biggest problem is on this campus is not just our sense of apathy, it's our sense of isolation, because a lot of the times we're behind a screen. We were on Zoom calls for a really long time during COVID. We're always going back to our dorm rooms, and the first thing we pull out is our phones or our technology or something like that. And what I really want to do with this position is to get students outside together and interacting face to face, because the biggest mental health barrier we have is not just access, but it's about isolation, not just on this campus, but in the state at large. Thank you.
Senator Villatt.
Well, I do not necessarily have a speech prepared. I suppose the first thing I think of is that I suppose me and Senator Cowan could essentially swap roles in a sense of Graduate Student Senate and Holistic Health and Wellness Committee, which I think would be quite interesting. But other than that, I am passionate for this topic, and I have done a lot, like interpersonally. I could go on loads of stories and stuff like that, but I really don't want to do that here, especially with the microphone. It's also a bit personal. I wouldn't really want to compromise anyone's confidentiality. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
Senator Sucker.
So again, like Senator Villat, I also just got nominated for this, so I don't have anything prepared. Just another refresher. So my name's John. This is my first semester as a senator here. One of the other probably biggest thing I do outside of class here at UMaine is I'm an RA. As an RA, honestly, most of what I dealt with last semester, and I dealt with a lot, was mental health. Mental health is kind of at an all-time low across campus, and probably in this country as a whole. And you know, mental wellness and physical wellness are equally important. And it's kind of astounding how many residents, students just aren't aware of the resources that are available to them. I'm a firm believer that everybody should go to therapy. And this is like the only time in your life when it's completely free. A lot of people just don't know that. Same thing with Swell. I kind of want to, if elected to this, I would want to work with the counseling center and with Swell to try to make them more visible, maybe work with the student body, kind of get a sense of like how aware they are of these resources and then go from there.
Thank you. All right, senators, please put your hands up to get a ballot. Well, you will be putting either Senator Cowan, Villatt, or Sucker. Now for the Academic Affairs Standing Committee Chair, drum roll. Senator Oldfield. For the new senators, if you are being nominated, giving some speeches for positions, if you're a little anxious about it, or you haven't won one, this is like a completely normal process. My first time being in Senate, I ran for like a bajillion things and I didn't win a single one. But now I'm here and it's okay that I didn't win them. Life goes on. It's not that embarrassing as you might think. There's so many people running. So don't feel bad about any of this. I'm really proud of all of you.
You also run for vice president. It's an idea. Or president, sorry, you're right. I forgot to.
Are there any more ballots? Alrighty. We'll now be moving on to Food and Dining Affairs Special Committee. For those nominated are Senators Rivera, Van Beek, and Collmore. Are there any more nominations? Senator Rivera?
I'd like to resent my nomination.
Senator Van Beek? Senator St. Lawrence? VP Fang,
I'd like to nominate Senator Goodspeed. Second.
VP Bone,
Like nominate Senator Santinello.
Second. I respectfully decline.
any more nominations? Seeing none, those nominated are Senator Goodspeed and Senator Collmore. We'll be starting with some speeches with Senator Collmore.
Hi, everyone. Is this a good distance?
Yes.
Okay. So for those that don't know me, my name is Jeremy Collmore, and right now I am running for the position of Food and Dining Affairs Committee Chair. If elected, in this role, my entire goal is to act as a dedicated bridge between the student body and our campus dining services to ensure that every student's voice and opinion is heard regarding the food they eat and survive off every single day. We pay a lot of money to eat here, and sometimes that doesn't always feel like we're being delivered upon. I have heard a lot of people here talk about it. I don't remember who it was last year, but it was kind of satirical, but I think they also meant it in the, here's my shrimp bowl that I paid like $10 for, and there's 2 pieces of shrimp in it. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, and that is absolutely ridiculous. You're paying a lot of money to eat here every single day. If you paid $10 for shrimp bowl anywhere else and only got 2 pieces, you would complain, like, where is my shrimp? And that, I know it's funny, but that's true. And I will also go into this role with the same persistence and dedication that I tried to bring to all of the roles I hold, trying to both increase the internal efficiency of the role in the committee, but also its impact as the spokesperson / group for our students in it, in an area that is often the most cared about by our student body besides housing. I will make sure that students are heard and that we provide ways for them to be heard. I will be persistent in requests to table in one or both of the dining halls, and that was turned down last year, and I think that is ridiculous. We should not have to have somebody from Sodexo sit there, and their answer should not be that we need someone to sit there and no one's willing to do it. Fine, I will table outside. I don't care. I will put up a table outside and sit there. I don't care. I'll do it in the rain. I don't care. You guys don't need help. A table in the union would also be really good. I think that would be a good place to do it because a lot of the complaints I hear personally lately have been on the Bears Den side of things. Beyond this, I will try to continue and improve the trend of transparency and accessibility, ensuring that all problems regarding food quality, dietary restrictions, and beyond are actively addressed. Sodexo has already taken strides to address these issues, but it can always be improved. So things are as easy and worthwhile as for our students paying $3,000 to $4,000 a semester for their dining experience. Thank you all for your time and consideration, and I hope to be elected and work with you all in the future.
Senator Goodspeed,
Okay, so my name's still Abigail. I'm still Senator Goodspeed, whatever you guys want to call me. I didn't prepare anything because I just got nominated, but I will say this. I lived on campus last year and I live on campus now. And I use my unlimited meal plan to the most that I could possibly use it. I eat on campus a lot, so I know really the amount of ups and downs that go on with the food, not even just in the dining hall, but also Bears Den. Like we said, the shrimp issue, that's real. I hear about that all the time. I see it, I eat it. So I would really like to take what I observe and what I know from eating in the dining halls all the time and other places on campus to the dining hall administration and stuff like that to adequately represent the students and their needs. Yeah.
senators putting hands up to get a ballot for either Senator Collmore or Senator Goodspeed. And now drum roll for the Holistic Health and Wellness. Senator Cowan.
Okay. My turn. So I was at the steakhouse today and I ate at the dining hall, and their dining hall food is better than our dining hall food, and it's so much cheaper. And that makes me upset.
I'll use me first, though.
I guess it's just like stand-up night. Stand-up night.
Hi, everybody. There's no cake over there. Please go grab a piece. Thank you.
Any more ballots? Okay, you just, right? I'm sorry, can you say that again?
How many
Oh.
positions?
7, 6, 5, 4.
While Vice President Shelmerdine counts, I want to tell you guys all about my first week in Senate, where I joined and I sat next to this guy who's also senator, and I went, there's 8 left? Is that right? Okay, there's either 7 or 8 left. I sat down next to this really cool guy and I went, wow, I'm a freshman and new to Maine and UMSG. Let's be friends. His name was Dylan Lee, but he resigned next week.
How far he's come through. That was a right. Any more ballots? Seeing none, we'll be moving on to the undergrad student symposium special committee for senators nominated or senators Weber and Craddy. Are there any more nominations for this position? Senator Craddy.
I'd like to rescind my nomination.
Okay. Senator Sparks.
I would like to nominate, Senator La Madrid.
Second.
I respectfully.
Any more nominations? Seeing none, congratulations, Senator Weber. There's now 7 left. Voter involvement in education special committee chair. Those nominated or Senators Collmore and Dana. Are there any more nominations? Seeing none, we'll start with VP Bohm.
Nominate Senator Chapin.
No.
Senator Chapin respectfully declines. Senator Oldfield.
I'd like to nominate Senator La Madrid.
Second.
Are there any more nominations? Seeing none, we'll move into some speeches, starting with Senator Collmore.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jeremy Collmore. Obviously, I already said that. But this is the time when I actually give some context because I don't have anything related to nutrition. Sorry. But I don't think that's the most important part. We have a nutrition specialist. For some context, I'm a political science and history major. And throughout my time in high school and in college, I have been very involved on that side of things. In high school, I was on Model UN and I was on model state government and a bunch of other things. And through my mother being a state rep, I have numerous connections with state politicians and through some of my own work with a lot of congressional staffers, which will be incredibly helpful in planning this semester's events. I'll tell you a little bit about that later. I've been ruminating on the speech for a while and how to bring the direction of the committee from an internal restructuring to real actionable programs that benefit the wider student body. Over the last couple of weeks, I have worked independently to finish what was left of the website writing, and I have a few legislative areas left to work on with our lawyer, Sean, who has agreed to help me with this process, and his own site that we will link to as well to help boost his work. After that, I plan on meeting with our director of technology to get that up and running after finalizing the design of the page with my committee members in our first meeting next week. Of course, this is all if I'm elected. I will also be meeting with Olivia in the Center for Student Involvement. She is looking to get more students involved and engaged in voting and was directed to me by the professor who runs UMaine U Vote, which is another connection that I am very excited to facilitate this semester as there's going to actually be some stuff to do. He has said anyway, so we'll see. In that meeting, I'll talk to her about dates to hold our 2 events this semester and to make that plan with them. I will also continue the work with the University of Maine Political Science Student Association as I have secured a permanent spot on their new Political Science Journal editorial team for the chair of this committee. And that journal will also be housed on our website and wherever they plan on posting it. I also heard from the members of my committee last semester that they were hopeful that we could work together again, or hopefully for the first time with the political clubs. And I want to work with them and try to bridge that gap in any way they see fit. I'm not trying to do that yet because there was some negative feedback and things that I had received and that I worked through with President Tripp my first time around holding this position. The two events I want to hold this semester are, and maybe three, we might split one of them, are meant to facilitate further involvement in state and local politics. Holding one event titled How to Get Involved in State and Federal Government, that's where the split might happen, and another titled How to Get Involved in Local Government. We hope to invite local legislators such as Lori Osher and Mike Tipping, a few people from up north and down south to meet the broad range of Maine students, as well as people from local campaigns and constituent offices. I already have those individuals in mind as well, and I have contacts to many of them. I have most of them on my Facebook. And I believe I can get most of them to attend if the event is held on either a Monday or a Friday to avoid days that legislators are in session. To garner wide attendance at these events by trying to get professors to offer this event as extra credit, specifically history, political science, honors, and other liberal arts and sciences focused degrees, because as we all know, we have to start incentivizing students to attend events. Finally, in advance, I hope to begin planning an event for the fall where gubernatorial candidates who won the primaries come to UMaine and speak to the students about their campaign, or one of their campaign officials comes down to do so as well, so students feel confident who they want to vote for. Thank you, and I hope I'm elected so we can hit the ground running this week.
Senator Dana. Hi, I won't do another introduction, but I will keep this brief. So similar to what Senator Collmore had said, I'm also a political science major, and building those relationships with both the faculty and also rebuilding the relationships with all of the political clubs on campus would be one of the main goals, as well as working with UVO as Senator Collmore suggested. Now I don't have any reps on Facebook, but I would try my hardest. And I would also want to continue the work that Senator Collmore carved out last semester, such as developing the committee website that he worked so hardly on. And like I said before, including local legislatures in conversations about UMaine students. And one of my other goals is to include tribal legislators with anything involving UMaine, as this is on native land. Yeah, thank you for your consideration.
Senators, please put your hands up to get a ballot for either Senator Collmore or Senator Dana. Drum roll for the Food and Dining Affairs Special Committee Chair. Yeah. Senator Collmore. Are all the ballots in? Alrighty, we'll be moving on to the non-traditional commuter and transfer student special committee. There's 5 left. Those nominated are Senators Schultz, Zurab, and Setford. Are there any more nominations for this position? Seeing none, we'll start with stump speeches, starting with Senator Schultz.
Hi, everybody. The CANS committee is the committee chair that I am most excited to be nominated for and most passionate about by far. When I had my one-on-one with BPSL Fang, he told me to get involved with UMSG by joining things I am connected to and interested in some way. This committee is perfect for me because I am a transfer student and a commuter. My freshman year, I attended Rhodes College in Memphis, Tennessee, and I've always loved school, but I hated that college. I decided to transfer here, and it's been the best decision of my life. I love it. sorry. I really wanted to help students here that I can relate to. So earlier this year, I met with President Tripp and we worked together to pass a Senate resolution putting transfer students on this committee. And I've spoken to many transfer students since then, and all of them agree that there needs to be a lot more work done to make people feel welcome here and stuff like that. And the commuters and non-traditional students that I've spoken to also agree that there needs more change needs to happen. I have so many ideas for this committee, and if elected, I'm hoping to work with all the people that fall under the CANS umbrella to improve the communication between them and us and the rest of the Maine community. Specifically for transfer students, I've already spoken to Andy Bowen about getting a transfer and non-traditional welcome day, something like that to make them feel more welcome. That's not involved with their freshman welcome week because they're not freshmen. And then it's also like really important to make sure that specifically transfer students and non-traditional students, make sure that they feel comfortable here and welcome and know all of their resources because they're more likely to transfer out again. And I also want to make sure we're talking to students that might want to transfer out of UMaine, helping them to find the resources here and the community here that they'll end up loving and want to stay. As for commuter students, I know how hard this is. I know how hard it was even this morning. I heard about the Ave and how it took 45 minutes to get out of the Ave to get to classes, which is insane. And I know there was snow, but that's wild. I know there's not much we can do about parking, but I'm sure there's other things that we can improve to help those students. And I would also like to work with the Wade Center. And yeah, now that I'm also Orono Town Council liaison, I think that would help with the non-traditional students and the commuter students, especially those living in Orono. I could kind of get a sense of where they're at, some things that we can improve there. Yeah, all that said, I'm very excited to be nominated for this, but Senator Sutker and Senator Zurab are also extremely qualified candidates, and we all have very unique backgrounds and connections that make us, very different, and we have different things to bring to this committee. So I encourage you to listen to their speeches and choose who you think will be best fit. So, thank you.
Senator Zurab.
Hello, everyone. I recognize probably like half of you guys, but who doesn't know me, my name is Raf Zurab or Senator Zurab. I'm from Beirut, Lebanon, which is like 30 hours from here. I'm a second year molecular and biomedical sciences major. And the reason why I think I would be a good chair of the CANS program is that I'm a transfer student as well as an international student. And similar to what Senator Schultz was saying, I joined Senator Schultz in the meeting with President Tripp and also the meeting with Andy Bowen, which is the head of Res Life. And we started talks about how can we make this committee or this community like get together and like work with UMSG to better like to hear their voices and to understand their like problems and what they have and what they want us to work on as well. And I also know a lot of people around campus and I have multiple friends that live on the transfer floor as well as lived or live on the transfer floor currently. And I think that makes me a good chair. And also similar to what Senator Schultz said, I believe that her and Senator Sutker are very good head of chair for this community. So I very encourage you. I encourage you guys to listen to their speeches as well. And yeah.
Senator Sutker.
All right, so again, my name is John. It's my second session in person with UMSG. Just to reiterate, I'm a second year. However, I graduated high school way back in 2019. I did a year of community college, dropped out my second semester, and just kind of joined the workforce for 4 years. I was pretty miserable. I realized I wanted to go back to college, and I'm here. I'm also the RA or one of the RAs on the designated transfer floor. So for those of you who don't know, the fourth floor of York Hall is the transfer living community. So it's mostly transfer students. In fact, I lived there last year. It's actually where I met Senator Zurab and Senator Schultz. So I think that representation matters a lot. Coming back to school full time after several years off was honestly pretty terrifying. I want to do what I can to help others navigate similar situations. Having been through that myself, it's just that there's a lot of things that were going through my head. I was very unsure of myself. I didn't know what it was going to be like. Am I too old? Have I forgotten how to learn? And already in my RA role, I've been able to put some minds at ease because a lot of other transfer and non-traditional students have very similar concerns. My other job as a TA, I was a TA there was a non-traditional student in my class, and her comments at the end of the year, she said that when she found out when I was a non-traditional student, made her feel better. Because sometimes if you take a year off or 4 years off or whatever it is, it can feel like the end of the world, but it's not. That being said, I had some positive influences, transfer students and non-traditional students who inspired me to be successful. Many aspects of their background were very similar to my own. My goals would be to coordinate with the commuter, non-traditional, and transfer student programs and with Student Life to find out what non-traditional, commuter, and transfer students would like to see, what changes. I'd like to brainstorm with admissions and with Res Life to make the transition to college much easier for commuter, non-traditional, or particularly non-traditional transfer students. I also wanted to add too, so I check off 2 of the boxes, non-traditional and transfer. I also wanted to say, given my age, as Senator Cowan put it, this might make me hunk. Just slightly. And also to just piggyback off Senator Zurab and Senator Schultz, both of them very qualified for this position as well. I appreciate the kind words that they've given me. And that's all. Thank you.
All right, senators, put your hands up for ballots. So you'll be voting for either Senator Schultz, Zurab, or Senator. Now a drum roll for the voter involvement and education special. Senator Dana.
Yeah.
All right, I get your story this time.
Oh.
Yes, story. Oh.
Right? Okay. So, all right, so today, it's not really a story, it's a question. So today, I met with some people, who own a moving company, and they work with a lot of Boston schools, a lot of Portland schools and stuff. And they offer a service where they will come in at the end of May, pick up your stuff, put it in storage for the summer, and then drop it off again in September. Pretty cool, right? So my question is, they will also do it like randomly throughout the year. They'll do it if you're a transfer student, they'll do it. It's about, average price for it is about $400 to do a dorm room for the summer. Like that's pick up, store it for the summer, drop it back off in the fall. My question is that something that you think the students would pay for? Average is 400. Right, I think some parents would definitely pay for it if they didn't have to come up and haul all the stuff around.
Yeah.
I think I would for my kids.
I genuinely think, like, I expected you to say like it was gonna be more.
Yeah.
Is that something that if student government says it will like subsidize it, or if we will, well, but if
We have
we.
8,000 undergrads.
Well, I
Well,
know.
right, but I like where you're going with this.
If we
When
get
I
a
said
discount,
that,
it's a
I said-
guarantee a certain amount.
Right, like I said, well, what do we get for giving you all of our students' names? Right? I said, so we have emergency funds for students, and so what happens if some tragic thing happens and students gotta like up and leave in the middle of the night and never comes back, and we have to figure out how to shift their room? All our RA friends know that this happens. Pack up the room, whatever. I was like, can we get some emergency moves that you just pay for, that you comp us? Well, that could be also a student government kind of initiative thing too. So, I don't know, what do you think? Raise your hands if you think people would like it. All right, raise your hands if you think it would be too expensive. Yeah, yeah,
For some
all right,
people.
I think we're gonna pursue it. Might as well, right?
Yeah. Like advertising.
Right. We would, yeah, we would like offer it to orientations, we would let them take.
Oh.
Or they have to pay us for table, right? This is right. All right, thanks. I'll be back for another one. Keep it relaxed.
Are all the ballots in?
Right.
Right, we have 4 more after this one. Next is gonna be the Sergeant at Arms. Currently nominated are Senator Rivera, Z. Robin Goodspeed, and I'll explain what that is. This is a solitary position. They were responsible for ordering food for the Senate meetings and managing the food budget. They're also in charge of setting up the Bangor room before Senate meetings and then cleaning up afterwards. They must make sure all necessary materials make it to the Bangor room from the office and then back and forth after the meetings. They also bring back dismissed people during Senate meetings and aid in the President of the Senate in escorting those expelled from the meetings. So like if I say someone's out of dress code, you're the one who has to usher them. Alrighty. Are there any more nominations? Senator Zurab.
Can I nominate Senator Salter?
Second.
I accept.
VP Fang.
I nominate Senator Soper.
Second. I respectfully.
Senator Oldfield.
I nominate Senator Lamadrid.
Second.
Absolutely fine.
VP Fang.
I nominate Senator Weber.
Second. I respectfully decline.
VP Baum.
Nominate Senator Lamont.
Second.
Yeah, makes sense.
Guys, I want you to know you control the food for Senate.
Okay, any more nominations? Okay. All right, those nominated are Senator Rivera, Senator Zurab, Senator Goodspeed, Sucker, and Vilat. We'll start with some speeches with Senator Rivera.
Oh, is this okay? Good evening, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Paige Rivera, and I'm excited to be in the running for Sergeant at Arms. As a new senator, I see this role as a fun, low stakes way to get involved, learn the flow of student government, and support the team. I'm a huge foodie and would keep the good vibes going by bringing in good food. And as a business major, I take business casual and professionalism very serious. So I would ensure that our dress code is always in effect. I would love the chance to contribute to our meetings in a meaningful but also approachable way, and I think that this would be the perfect start. Thank you.
Senator Zurab.
As I said earlier, my name is Ralph or Senator Zurab. I just love helping out. I just being like there if someone needs it. And I think I'd be a good fit for this position because honestly, I see myself doing that. And also, as Senator Rivera said, I love food and it might not look like it, but I really love food and I eat a lot. So I would try to make sure that the food kind of like there's different food almost like every month or so. And um I'll also like keep the dress code going because obviously I love fashion as well. And so I think respecting the dress code is a very big thing. And yeah.
Senator Goodspeed.
Okay, hi again. I believe I'd be a good fit for the position of Sergeant at Arms because throughout my undergraduate career and high school career and all that, I've always prioritized organizational skills and time management, which are both things that I would bring to this role when making sure that the room, flags, food, binders are always ready for us to start the meetings. I serve as a park ranger in the summertime, which has often helped me gain skills such as like talking people down and maybe managing situations where you have to ask people to leave calmly and efficiently. these are skills that I would hopefully never have to use in Senate. But if it came to it, I would be able to bring those skills to the Senate when asking people to leave, and enforcing such rules like that. I similarly am quite fond of food. I remember hearing some good words about the mac and cheese bites last meeting, so if people are a fan of that, I'd definitely keep that going. Also a big mac and cheese fan. And I can carry like 5 chairs at once, so picking up at the end of the night would I think I'd be pretty good at it. So, yes, thank you for considering me.
Senator Secker?
Thank you. So this is kind of last minute. I just rattled off some things that I think would, make me qualify for this. So, one of my jobs in the 4.5, 5 years that I worked full time, I was a manager of a pizza shop for 2 years. So I love pizza in particular. I love food. And I can also attest to the fact that Senator Zurab does in fact love food. I saw him eat like 8 plates, was it 7 plates one time in the dining hall? Also, God forbid that I need to remove somebody for some reason. 3 years of full-time customer service as well as being an RA have prepared me very well for resolving conflict in a diplomatic fashion. 2.5 years, as a restaurant manager, including at Crumble Cookies, it gave me a keen eye for detail and cleanliness. I'm also very organized. If only you all could see my Google Calendar and my spreadsheets. It's borderline neurotic. But that's all. Thank you.
Senator Vlad?
Testing. Okay, so I believe that the best course of action for this position, it's a hypothesis. What if I created a Google form and posted it into the Senate chat, and everyone here could vote on the food that they want, and then accordingly, I could go and get it. Reasons as to why I'd be good at this position, I guess I would do the Google form if everyone would like that. But I also have loads of customer experience on eBay dealing with people who are not the most polite folks. I have esteemed evidence here, so you all believe me. So you can clearly see I'm like not gonna show everyone, but I can. Do you all see that? Those are all my positive feedbacks over the course of the years. And it keeps going for a really, really, really long time. So I think I do have the experience to say. And I also go to the gym a lot to build my muscles. So I could almost certainly carry loads of everything. I could carry like an entire table if I wanted to all at once. I'm always doing that pose that you see. So yeah, I don't know what I'm saying, but vote me.
All right. Put your hands up to get a ballot. Well, you'll be voting for either Senator Rivera, Rob Goodspeed, Sutker, or Vlad. And now for a drum roll for our non-traditional. Senator Sutker. Food for thought. For whoever gets the sergeant at arms, I would love it if we like thought about a little bit more vegetarian options. Maybe like falafel. I really, really like falafel, or maybe like a Taco Bell night. Does President Tripp have something important to say? Because I do have a mini story. I want to.
Okay, my only advice to everybody, especially if it's your first time running for positions, there's always big ideas in speeches, and I'm not saying that when someone loses, they don't pan out, but sometimes we do see that kind of take the wind out of people's sails. I would really encourage you to get involved in these committees. I mean, they're only as powerful as the people that put the work into them. And while of course being the chair is certainly an honor and you get to report out, a lot of the best work has been done by general committee members. And I know we have some senators who prefer to be members rather than chairs, and that's okay. But as long as you're getting involved and as long as you're contributing, that's what we care about. Yep.
It's not a bad thing, it's really not it.
Carl DeBallison,
Oh, no.
Senator St. Pierre. I'm gonna keep my story for next one. This is really stupid and looking embarrassing. All right, we'll be moving on to President Pro Tempore. I'll read off the description. This position is designated to take over chairing the Senate for any reason that the President of the Senate cannot. They take the position and run the meeting as the President of the Senate would until the President of the Senate returns or the Senate collectively decides to choose a new chair. So you just be doing what I'm doing until I cede the chair back to myself. Those nominated are Senators Oldfield, Ricker, DeLorme, Vanderwood, Cowan, and Sparks. Are there any more nominations? Senator Sparks.
I would like to rescind my nomination.
Any more nominations? Seeing none, we'll go into stump speeches, starting with Senator Oldfield.
I don't have a mic, but I'll just start anyway, so we're not taking up too much time. Hi, everyone. I already introduced myself, but I'm Elizabeth, or Senator Oldfield. I mentioned earlier that I was the acting VPSL last year, which gave me a lot of experience with Robert's rules and how the meetings are chaired. So I'm very familiar with how to chair meetings and committees. I chaired my own committee last year, as well as put on a Robert's Rules training session for the previous year's senators. I also developed cheat sheets for Robert's Rules training for all of the senators. Most of you probably have new binders, so I'm not sure if they're in the binders, but they're in the office if you want one. And I also, during senator trainings, I trained about 15 senators last year, went through Robert's Rules. So I'm definitely very familiar with the function of the meetings. And as I mentioned, this is my 5th semester on Senate. So I've also been to quite a few meetings, not as many as Keegan or President Tripp or the PFA Bohm, but quite a few. I believe I'm the second most semester senator currently sitting. I believe behind Senator Ricker. And I think this is a really fun part of Senate. Senate is the opportunity for a senator to have the chance to chair a meeting. I really love to hold this position before I graduate, as it's one I've wanted since I joined Senate, but just haven't had the opportunity to hold. And I appreciate your consideration, so thank you.
Senator Ricker.
Good evening, everyone. In case you forgot, my name is Kyle Wickle, and I've been student government for a very long time now. This right here is my 5th year as a senator, and the reason I joined UMaine in the first place, one of the biggest reasons I joined, was specifically to be here in this room as part of Senate, helping out other students wherever I can. I was out there collecting signatures on my very first day on campus as a freshman, and throughout my 5 years on Senate, I have served in a variety of roles, numerous EBC, SLC, chair of various committees, and this gives me a very unique insight into Senate as a whole. I know when to step up, but I also know when to step back. With the obvious exception of tonight, I generally abstain from running against younger senators in a one-on-one competitions for elections. And the reason I do that is because I believe that younger senators should be the ones who develop their skills and leadership in the Senate. They are the future leaders on campus, and this is the place where they cultivate those abilities. I have a very strong understanding of Robert's rules and regulations. And I know how to balance the comprehensiveness of what we discuss with the efficiency that I think we should have. So more personally, this position and the opportunity to do it is something that truly does mean a lot to me. When I was younger, I had selective mutism, and I've had surgeries in order to really be able to actually speak coherently to a crowd, to other people in interpersonal kind of ways. I actively do vocal training in order to make sure I'm able to speak coherently and articulate myself well. Being able to chair these meetings here in Senate is truly a highlight from my time here at University of Maine. I know that to a lot of you, this may seem like just another position in Senate, but to me, it really is so much more. So I would truly be honored to be a pro temp again from my last semester here at UMaine. Thank you.
Senator DeLorme.
All right, hello, everyone, good evening. My name is Zeke, or Senator Warren. For those of you who don't know me yet, you may recognize my voice from my most notable work, which is making a motion to approve this meeting's agenda and last week's meeting. But yeah, I really think this position is not only about comfortability with speaking in front of the Senate, but also just being able to stand up there and move the meeting along and being committed to working efficiently here and using our time as efficiently as possible. After my first 3 semesters in Senate, I have a better understanding of not only Robert's rules, but also the usefulness of discussion, and also understanding where the kind of the boundary lies and where it can get a little bit less productive and when we really need to move things along. But yeah, if you could give me your vote, that'd be wonderful. Thank you so much.
Senator Vanderwood.
Yeah, I don't really have a rhyme or reason. I just think it'd be a cool position, so vote Vanderwood.
Senator Cowan.
Hi, everybody. My name is Casper Cowan. I'm a 4th year here at the University of Maine, if you forgot. I hope you understand that that's for the bit and I'm not being serious. I think that this position would be really cool. I do not have any real qualifications, if we're being honest. I understand Robert's rules. I think that I have the capacity to lead a Senate meeting. But I also just love debating so much. There were like 2 semesters ago, we led a mock Senate, and I think I debated red hot dogs for like an hour. It's just purely love of the game for me, and I would really appreciate the opportunity to be able to command the ship in those situations. Thank you.
All right, would the senators please put your hands up to get a ballot? And you'll be voting for either Senator Oldfield, Ricker, DeLorme, Vanderwood, or Cowan. Okay, I'm gonna tell my stupid Taco Bell story now. Now. Fine. Drum roll for Sergeant at Arms. Senator Rivera. Okay, back to business. I had a really productive Saturday, and to celebrate, me doing all my homework and me quitting my other job, I decided that I was going to drive to Taco Bell during the snowstorm. And I thought it was a brilliant idea to get new. This is Saturday. And then yeah. Oh wait, yeah, you're so right. It was Sunday. My bad. Gosh. Well, I thought it'd be a brilliant idea to go out in the snowstorm to get Taco Bell for my 2 cheesy bean and rice burritos. Anyways, so I ended up flying off the highway at like 60 miles an hour sideways. I got some airtime. Something's messed up on my car. It sounds a little weird when I changed my gear now. But it took like an hour to get rescued, and my first everything I did was actually to text Keegan Tripp and then not respond.
I crashed my car. Silence for 10 minutes. I'm in a meeting for my fraternity and I'm texting her nonstop. Do I need to leave? Do I need to come find you? Maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes
Thank you for
later.
not calling me.
I'm fine now. My car, maybe not, but my ego was really bruised, and the tow truck driver said it was like the worst of the night because I was like all the way in the median, also sideways. I didn't get my Taco Bell. Anyways, any more ballots?
I think this is really funny.
Thank you. Alrighty. We have 3 left, Lori. We'll now be moving on to the Executive Budgetary Committee senators, and I will read off. This. Josh is right there.
I want to remind everybody when and all. So the committee is on Fridays at 1:30. I also encourage anybody who's running This semester, the meetings might run a bit long because we have to deal with the budget like aspect of it. And so expect them to be an hour and a half to 2 hours.
And, sorry, as a description for the committee, they screen all incoming budgetary requests before they reach the Senate, and they meet with individuals or representatives who are requesting funding to help the committee further understand what the money is for. They then go to an official vote to decide which requests go before the Senate and to give the committee's recommendation. This committee meets at the discretion of the VPFA, as described previously. Currently, those nominated are Senator Zilog, Weber, Santinello, Vanderwood, St. Lawrence, Cowan, Setker, Chapin, Van Beek, Inman, Schultz, DeLorme, and Dana. Do we have any more? Any more nominations? Senator St. Lawrence.
Rescind my nomination.
Senator Cowan.
I'd like to rescind my nomination.
Senator Zilog.
Too.
Okay. Senator Setker.
I'd also like to say.
Oh, wow.
Senator Van Beek.
I'd like to.
Okay, I'd like to remind everyone that there needs to be 4 people.
You want to recap who's nominated?
Okay, we still have more. Okay.
So 8.
My bad, girl. Senator Dana. Senator Sparks.
Who's nominated?
Currently nominated for EDC is Senator Weber, Santinello, Vanderwood, Chapin, Inman, Schultz, and DeLorme. Senator Schultz. Any more nominations? 6. All right. We will start with stump speeches, starting with Senator Weber.
Hello, everyone. Thanks to all the people who were seated. This has made my job a little bit easier tonight. For those who don't know me, my name is Matt Weber. This is my second year, but only third semester. As last semester, I took a semester abroad, so I was not able to be part of Student Senate. Last year, I was a member of EBC. I'm also a financial economics and accounting major, meaning that I do have a little bit of knowledge about the topic. However, more than that, I think what EBC senators do mainly is get the information that happens in EBC, be able to articulate it in a good enough sense that student senate as well as the greater student body are able to understand and can get behind the reasons why we do or do not give money, or if those decisions are changed. Also, I believe that with that knowledge, I can get deeper into the reasons why we do give money and also argue it or debate it in EBC itself. For the point that I'm very passionate about. I'm very passionate about this topic. I want the student body to be able to get the best experience that they pay for it. The money that we give out is money that students give. And I want that money to be directly contributed back to the students that go to the university. Thank you.
Senator Santinello.
Hello, everyone. It's nice to be here in our second session. It's actually my second session. As a freshman senator, someone new to Maine student government, I think that it's best to introduce myself before you all. My name is Gabe Santinello. I'm a history major from New Hampshire, and I'm honored to be part of UMSG. And I hope to contribute, more towards the Maine community overall. Everybody can agree that we have a obligation and responsibility to make wise financial decisions. And having a large budget requires effective allocation of resources and fairness towards all groups and organizations who, want to make a request for funds. One of the facts of UMSG that pulled me to actually run in the first place was our large budget. I was amazed to see that as a student-driven organization, we have such an extraordinary budget to work with at our disposal. As part of the executive budgetary committee, I believe responsibility is a priority to ensure that all groups, whether they are community associations that are in the area or clubs that are located right here in UMaine, have the funds to operate and contribute to our community. Thank you.
Senator Vanderwood.
Yeah, so, I don't have a finance major, or I'm not a finance major or anything, but living off campus, I've had to learn how to budget for expenses such as food, entertainment, clothing and such. So I have like my own budget sheet on Excel. My dad was an Oxford County treasurer for 2 terms, so I have some knowledge of the field of budgeting and making sure money is allocated to the right place. It's just a kind of new interest I have, but it is my last semester here, so I encourage you guys to vote for someone younger.
Senator Chapin.
Hey guys, I'm Senator Chapin. This is my second semester here at UMaine and my sixth semester as a senator. To tell you a little bit why I'm qualified for this position, I am a political science and international affairs major. And you might be thinking, what does that have to do anything with it? Well, money is power, power is politics, therefore money runs politics. I unfortunately had to study how money runs politics and therefore have studied in depth how money works, economics, etc., etc. I have also last semester disagreed vehemently with VPFA Josh Bohm on policy and how policy should be implemented. But I think that's a plus because that means that I can serve as a check to VPFA and etc. and be the dissenting voice and devil's advocate in the room. So with all that said, vote Chapin because I have nothing else for you to vote me for. So thank you.
Senator Inman.
Hi, guys. I know about half of you. My name's Haley Inman or Senator Inman. I am your security representative. Thank you, guys. I am also a cabinet senator this semester, and I'm confident in my speech, but I'm gonna say a lot. So I am really looking into this because giving clubs opportunities is a big part of EBC. And I think it's a really large part of why people should look into being a part of it. When we had the Women in Business come in last semester, for those of you who were with us, they showed the most beautiful slideshow that was like 50 slides long, and it was so empowering that student government was able to give them the money for them to go on that trip and meet people who they wanted to meet, that were able to influence them and empower them. And we did that. That was us. That was Josh specifically. Sorry. I'm really good at asking questions and drilling people, but I don't want to take up the time doing it in Senate. And so it would be a lot easier to do it during the time allotted. I'm also very critical. I'm a critical person and I think very critically, and it's important to do that. But a lot of people shy away from doing that, and I will not. I also think it's really important to spread awareness of the money that we have to give clubs on campus and our student body. And I'm not a math major. I'm actually a journalism major. So I would love to learn more about numbers. You wouldn't expect me to know a lot about numbers, but I'm great with questions. So please vote me. Please vote any of us. We're all great options. Thank you so much. I'm also really, really free on Fridays. I have nothing on Fridays. Thank you.
Senator DeLorme.
I think this one's on. All right. Hello, everyone. I just spoke a couple minutes ago. So this is actually, I'm a mechanical engineering major, and this is the first semester I haven't had a math class. So I'm itching to get back in with numbers. But yeah, so I'm looking to continue working with financial literacy in all areas of my life. And this commitment to continuous learning has helped me stay diligent whenever I'm learning. And I'd like to bring that diligence to EBC, parsing through any information that's brought to us by clubs and organizations. Rarely do I make a decision without putting thought towards it, and often I put a little too much thought towards some things that really don't deserve my attention, but I think I can kind of delineate between what needs it in EBC, and I hope to contribute to a healthy financial outlook for student government. Yeah, all for me. Thank you.
All right, if you guys can put your hands up to get a ballot, and you'll be voting for either Senator Weber, Santinello, Vanderwood, Chapin, Inman, or DeLorme. And you're writing 4 names.
Love you all. We love you, Lori. You get lots of perks at the concert. You're on the committee. So we will need you all. I will lean on you hard to volunteer, so you might as well join us.
Round of applause for Gloria.
Who stays here with us, it's genuinely, young. You have the families.
I'm going to repeat the names: Senator Weber, Santinello, Vanderwood, Chapin, Inman, or DeLorme.
How many names?
You can write 4 names. All right, put your hands up high. For our president pro tempore, we do have a tie. And so we would like to do secondary rounds of stop speeches. We have a tie between Senator Oldfield and Ricker. So we would like to start speed stop speech.
Speed stop.
Starting with Senator Oldfield.
Hi, everyone. I don't want to repeat myself again from the last time. That seems like a waste of time. So I just would like to point out that this is a very important role for senators, and I think it's very important to remain impartial during the debate, and that's something I feel that I am easily able to do and ensure that each senator has the opportunity to speak when it's their turn, and ensure that no one voice is overpowering anyone else.
Senator Lippert.
Yeah, I think that's something that makes me a really strong candidate for this position is just how strong I am with Robert's rules and regulations. I'm someone who's been pro tempore before. I am someone who has been chair of committee meetings before where we use Robert's rules and regulations. And outside of student government, I'm also involved in organizations such as Model UN, which have formatted kind of debates and formatted sort of ways of proceduring through discussions. And I think that this makes me a very strong candidate for pro tempore. And as the pro tempore for the Senate, I promise to be impartial. I promise to be someone who's able to really cultivate these sorts of discussions that are productive and still efficient. So, thank you.
All right, if senators could put their hands up to have a ballot for either Senator Oldfield or Senator Ricker. And this is for President pro tempore.
And for our ballot droppers, we have to keep it separate to the current one. So give them like specifically the reason.
The ballots are a long thing. One day.
Senator Smith. Hi, everyone. There's 3 pieces of cake left. Please grab them because they're already cut and on plates, and I don't know what to do with them if they're left there. Thank you. Have all the ballots been collected for President pro tempore? All right. We'll now be moving into Student Organization Committee senators. I will read off that. Does VP Thompson have a time?
Yeah, Monday, 1 to 2. I will do my best to not let it go over an hour. I'm pretty good at fitting a lot of clubs in an hour if you ask last semester's room, so.
All right, the description for this committee, it is chaired by the Vice President of Student Organizations. They address all preliminary and final club recognition requests. screening them to make sure they fulfill all requirements necessary before they go to the Senate. They also handle club locker requests and the general welfare of clubs. They're also responsible for the process of establishing representative boards. And there's 4 people that can be voted on. Those nominated are Senators Collmore, St. Lawrence, Villatte, Cowan, Oldfield, Rivera, Van Beek, Sutker, Zurab, Dana, Schultz, and Santinello. Are there any more nominations? Senator Oldfield? Senator St. Lawrence? Senator Dana?
I'd also like to.
Senator Rivera? VP Fang?
I'd like to nominate Senator Goodspeed. Second.
I respect Luke Klein.
Senator Sutker?
I would like to rescind that.
Senator Zurab?
Same here.
Senator Oldfield?
I'd like to nominate Senator Lonergan.
Second. This one's fun.
That's a farm job. I'm sorry. We got a lot of cows do stuff. Sorry.
If you rescinded your nomination, can you please raise your hand? I need to make sure.
There's six left. Which thing?
Follower, Black, Cowan, Van Deep, Schultz, and Santinello.
I would say. Another one. Right.
VP Fang?
I'd like to nominate Senator Ricker.
Second.
What time is it?
Mondays 1 to 2.
That's not good.
VP Fang?
I'd like to nominate Senator St. Pierre. Second.
VP Bone?
I'll nominate Senator Jacob.
Second.
I respectfully.
Senator Sparks?
I would like to nominate Senator Goodspeed.
Second.
Second. Respect Luke Klein.
Senator Inman?
I'd like to nominate Senator Schultz. Second.
She's already nominated.
Sorry.
VP Fang?
I'd like to nominate Senator Soper. Second.
Second. I respect.
Okay, so currently, and please correct me if I'm wrong, those nominated are Senators Collmore, Villatte, Cowan, Rivera, Van Beek, and Santinello, and Schultz. No Rivera, my bad. Any more nominations? All right, seeing none, we will move into stump speeches, starting with Senator Collmore.
I will not introduce myself, but this is a role that I held last semester, and a little foreshadowing for you all, a role that I will be pursuing next semester is VPSO. I've already reached out to VPSO Thompson. I think beyond VEEK last semester, the thing that I was most involved in and the thing that I worked the most on was student involvement on campus. In order to hopefully gain that role, I think I would be doing a disservice to the role if I did not stay as up to date as possible on the goings on every club. Through that, I also hope to learn more about kind of the goings on and how our VPSO works. And then also, obviously, I hope to represent the clubs as best as possible, ask more questions than I did last semester, and hopefully encourage that from other senators as well, since it was really only VPSO Thompson asking the same questions every time, which obviously he needs to. And then beyond that, I think there's a lot of policies and things too that I think we could do to kind of help streamline the process, which I've talked to with VPSO Thompson as well. And so hopefully I could do this role to really work on those. Thank you.
Next, Senator Villatte.
To be a sitting member, I guess I should be introducing myself. My name is Callum Blatt. I'm a pre-veterinary student at the University of Maine. I'm a sophomore. To be a sitting member at the Student Organizations Committee means that you must have a firm understanding of the SORP, which stands for the Student Organization Recognition Policies, for those of y'all who do not know. I simply love the notion of seeing optimistic individuals presenting a club that caters to their interests. It is quite the serotonin boost, and if elected, I will uphold the SORP and ensure that all presenting clubs to the SOC have reputable evidence and can be approved safely. What sets me apart from others is that I am not a follower. I grew up in a household where following was all that was ever entertained, so I know my way around by breaking free from the crowd. So with this, I would ensure that my voice is heard and can be considered amongst all. And I recently took a required public speaking course last semester, so my vocal skills are sharpened, which will allow me to accomplish more than I could have ever in OCC prior. I would also like to show you my eBay listings. I have 94,009 listing impressions and 1,635 listing views in just the last month. So I hope that goes to show that my customer service is very exquisite. Thank you.
Senator Cowan.
Hi, everybody. My name is Casper Cowan. I'm a fourth year here at the University of Maine. Something that I haven't mentioned before, and I don't mean to go through my list of qualifications. We are among some of the most involved students on campus. I'm sure plenty of you are on executive boards or members of plenty of other orgs. But something a little more unique about my position is I'm the president of Triota. If you're not familiar, that's the WGS Honor Society and Service Organization on campus. And we've kind of stepped in the role that the Feminist Collective left when they went inactive a couple years ago. My club is really, really new. This is our third year of being active, and this is only my second year being involved in it. Something that I noticed that was really hard when starting the club was the lack of knowledge or understanding of what that process really looked like. How it is to go about connecting with other students that are interested in the same topic, navigating campus groups, and all of these like gaps in knowledge. What I would really like to do within this position is get a better understanding of what our clubs and organizations don't understand when they're starting that process and how we can better build that process to cater to our students' needs. Again, I'm sure plenty of you guys are on exec boards and you guys have used campus groups. I personally hate campus groups. I applied for VPSO last year, and that was something I said in my interview. I know this is the campus groups job, but I hate campus groups. The interface is terrible, and I would really love to work on that as well with the VPSO. Thank you.
Senator Van Beek.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. My name is Sky Van Beek, and I am a fourth year studying marine biology. Currently, I have the privilege of serving as the president of two clubs and orgs on campus, All Maine Women and Club Swimming. I feel like this puts me in kind of a unique position because they are two very different clubs, and so I have learned to delegate both, as well as I would like to take that experience into SOC. I would like to kind of give, I don't know, I guess new and upcoming clubs the same privilege of having like that family and happiness that I have found in All Maine Women and Club Swimming, because that is obviously so important. And with 220 recognized clubs and orgs on campus, it's so easy for somebody to find something that really fits their niche. So I feel like that's super important and something I want to be a part of. I've also served on SOC for the past semester, and I found it to be a really rewarding experience. As well as for the upcoming semester, I would like to work with VPSO Thompson and President Tripp to finally start the Club Sport Rep Board. As I'm the president of Club Swim, I think this is an issue really near and dear to my heart is, I guess, how athletics treats club sports and kind of how some of our stuff is unfair, especially with like how much facilities cost and all that good stuff. But I don't want to talk for too long. That's it. Thank you.
Senator Schultz.
I'm sorry. Well,
You know what? Oh, turn. Oh, okay. Okay, as President Tripp said, at the gala this evening, clubs are the heart of campus. And I would really love to be involved with that. At my old college, I joined a ton of clubs and organizations and did not find one that I like clicked with and really fell in love with. And I want to make sure that everyone on campus has the opportunity to find one that they love. So definitely increasing the communication and doing more than just the club fair at the beginning of the year, like really getting the voice out would be really awesome and really fun to be a part of. And I'm also interested in running for VPSO next year, so I'd love to work with VP Thompson and kind of learn what he does and get a feel for, yeah, everything like that. That's it. Thank you.
Senator Santinello.
Hello, once again, just as a reminder, my name is Gabe Santinella. I am a freshman history student from New Hampshire. In my short time so far at UMaine, I have found clubs to be my personal greatest source of non-academic life. I'm sure everyone can agree or relate to an extent, and we all agree that clubs help build what we know as the University of Maine. As part of the Student Organizations Committee, I will bring a fair, neutral view on applications for clubs, recognizing that our diversity as a community is what supports us. Furthermore, I will also ensure that the Senate is presented with that same neutral view when the Senate reviews the recommendation of the committee. Thank you.
All right, will the senators please raise your hand so you can get a ballot, and you'll be voting for either Senator Collmore, Villatte, Cowan, Van Beek, Schultz, or Santinello, and you can vote for 4 people. And now a drum roll for the President Pro Tem. Senator Oldfield. And now for the EBC committee. Senator Weber, Santinello, Inman, and DeLorme. And I'd like to remind people again, we're voting on Student Organization Committee, and you can vote for either Collmore, Villatte, Cowan, Van Beek, Schultz, or Santinello. And we have one more after this. Are all the ballots in? No? No. Any more? All right. Lastly is the Student Entertainment Committee. And this is 1 elected senator. What time is? Okay, it's based on their bill. And I will read it out in 1 moment. This position is a member of the Student Entertainment Committee, and they were required to go to all SEC meetings and help the Vice President of Student Entertainment maintain the entertainment branch of student government. They will aid in the planning and execution of the semester shows, as well as all events planned by the Entertainment Division. Those nominated are Senators St. Lawrence, DeLorme, Schultz, Rivera, Dana, and Inman. Are there any more nominations? VP Fang.
Nominate Senator Goodspeed.
And this position is now worth 2 points, so it covers both of your responsibilities. Any more nominations? Senator Dana?
I'd like to rescind my nomination.
Senator DeLorme? Any more nominations? Seeing none, those nominated are seeing Lawrence, Schultz, Rivera, and Inman. We'll start with the stump speeches with Senator St. Lawrence.
Anyone hear me?
No. Are you guys turning them off in between?
Yeah.
Hello?
Oh, very good.
Introduction 6. Hello, everyone. For all the new senators and reps in the room, my name is Ryan St. Lawrence, and I'm a biomedical engineering major in my junior year. I'm also an MCEC senator. So, hey guys, I'm going to go about this a little bit differently than I do most of my speeches. If you guys have heard me give speeches before, I'm usually very straight to the point. This time I'm going to change it up a little bit, and I'm going to start with a little bit about my time here at UMaine. So I've been here for what's now my 6th semester, which is very scary because that's going by way too quickly. But it took quite a bit for me to really get started, start getting involved with the campus. I started by basically having to be dragged to events and activities. And then I was convinced that I'd be a good senator for UMSG, which I didn't understand why at the time, so I decided, why not? That decision, my sophomore year, was probably one of the best decisions I've made since then. I got my hands on whatever I really could, and it's been truly really fun. I mean, now I'm in a fraternity, which I never expected out of myself when I first joined here, but never have had more fun on this campus than when I've been dragged, sometimes forcefully, to activities and told myself to just do it for the experience. I'm incredibly passionate about entertainment here at UMaine, as it was ultimately what finally got me to be myself in this room today. Whether it's playing guitar with my brothers, building a bunch of new snow sculptures over by Oxford, or even going to see Trevor Wallace when he came here, connecting with my friends or new people over something fun is what I define as the proper college experience. So, that out of the way, I promise I do have some credentials for this role. I've recently started as the Brotherhood Chair for my fraternity, where it is literally my job to plan fun events for us to enjoy and connect over. On the first day of that role, I made over 5 pages of ideas, something that I've already started doing for SEC, regardless of the outcome of this vote. And of those ideas, a bunch of them have already started rolling out, and I've been trying to find out how to better connect people over some entertainment. And that's truly what I'm passionate about, along with my studies, of course. So SEC is looking like it's going to be a fun one this semester. Can't wait to see what will shape up alongside the concert in a couple of months, and hopefully I'll get to be part of the trajectory. So thank you guys, and let's have a productive semester.
Senator Schultz.
Hi, everyone. Really excited to be nominated for this position. I have been in SEC this past semester, and I've really loved working with VP Lehman and Abby Hall. It's been really fun. This year, I'm really excited for the upcoming events, and I really want to help plan those. And obviously, I'll do that whether or not I'm elected. But I like geek out over like planning events and stuff. I was class president in high school, so I planned so many events junior and senior year and had just so much fun doing it, and just loved seeing the result of like all that planning, all that hard work. It comes together. Everyone's super excited and happy, and it makes me happy too. And yeah, I also plan to get my master's in administration, and my goal is to be a principal someday. And part of that comes with like planning and like putting on all these large events for all the students. So I think that this would be an incredible experience, and it would be, you know, it would be awesome to see like how things work behind the scenes, how people plan different things, and like putting on events for a whole school. One thing I would really love to do if I was elected is to work really closely with our DOC. I'm planning to join that committee, the communication committee, and really increase the communication between student entertainment and the rest of the school. I definitely think that I can help there. I'm currently making joint SEC posters because I really love advertising and stuff like that, and you know, telling all my friends to join SEC, and they're probably mad at me now, but you know, and yeah, I would really love if you would consider voting for me, and that's all.
Senator Rivera.
Hello again. So I have a few roles on campus as an ambassador for the business school and also a student lead at OCC. So for me, event creation is a field where I'm very comfortable and do some of my best work.
I've planned and hosted events across a wide range of topics. And through that, I've seen what drives retention and what doesn't. So I know what students actually show up for, and I'm ready to bring that knowledge to the table. This committee makes sure that student voices actually shape our events and how the student activity fee is used, which I take seriously, given I also pay that fee and want it to go towards things that people actually enjoy. Thank you.
Senator Inman.
Hi again, everybody. I'm not gonna do an introduction, but I just wanted to give a couple things that I think help. Sorry, give me credentials for this role. Similar to Senator Schultz, I planned a bunch in high school. I planned every single prom all 4 years, and I planned one at a school that wasn't my own. In addition to that, I am a journalism major, as I mentioned before. And so events is like the whole purpose of journalism, going to events, being at events, questioning people, knowing what people want, knowing the right questions to ask, knowing who's gonna be there, what's gonna be there, and working with the people of importance at those events, which is really important when it comes to SEC, because you have such important people at events, big events, small events. I have been in SEC this last semester and worked with VP Lehman and Abby the whole time, and it was really great. I am also an art minor, and I have a certificate in graphic design, so I'm really good with posters, I'm really good with advertisement, and I love concerts and events like we all do. But I think something that I bring specifically to that is I'm an introvert, and I hate going to big events because I don't like being around people. And so I think it's really important to make events something that everybody at our school wants to be at, not just the people who want to go out and be around people, because sometimes students don't want to be around big crowds. They don't want to be surrounded by people. They don't want to be in close-knit, touching somebody they don't know. I'm one of those people. I don't like touching people. And I think that all of these reasons are reasons you should vote for me. So thank you so much.
All right, put your hands up to get ballots. You will be voting for either Senator St. Lawrence, Schultz, Rivera, or Inman. And drum roll for SOC. Senator Cowan, Van Beek, Schultz, and Santinello. This is the last one. Thank you for everyone's patience tonight. These are the longest meetings that we have because of all the stump speeches and nominations. And I know it's quite long and it's the beginning of the semester, but I thank all of you for your grace. Right.
I think it's probably better.
Yeah, already. Okay. Now for our Student Entertainment Committee elected senator. Senator St. Lawrence. Now seeing nothing else under unfinished business, new business, main motions, or executive session, we'll now enter special orders and announcements where any member of UMSG may address the GSS for no more than 5 minutes. Do we have any speakers? President Tripp.
I'm gonna make this so fast. Okay, so first of all, thank you for the 100th celebration. I can't believe we're here. Next week, BPFA Bones, 100th meeting, be there. And I actually don't even know how many meetings we've been here, Senator Richter. So that's interesting. This job has been the highlight of my career, no small part because of the dedication that you have shown, especially tonight for meetings running long. I know they run long. Reps, please remember to flex your hours. Make sure that happens. But I do appreciate you all sticking it through. I encourage newly elected chairs to meet with former chairs, VP Shelmerdine, VPSL Fang, or myself to familiarize yourselves with the roles and also make sure that you're connected with all the appropriate administrators and departments that you should be. I'm thinking like Angela in the mental health, stuff like that, whatnot. I want to make sure that everybody gets connected because I feel like that fell through the cracks last year. And cabinet tomorrow, bright and early. Reps, my 2 senators. That's unfortunate. See you there.
Also, if you're elected chair tonight, you need to schedule a meeting with me that will be regularly bi-weekly, and these will be mandatory. I will not skip on any of these. Senator Sparks.
Also, if you're a committee chair, you have a lovely committee binder in the office that you should probably use.
Clarification, you will use it. And because that will be made sure of in the bi-weeklies. Representative.
I have a question for President Tripp about cabinet tomorrow. Is that in person?
Yeah, so cabinet, the next 2 cabinets will be in person so that we can go through all of the student leadership scholarships, but it should be painless and it's a really exciting thing because we get to decide the student leaders that we're gonna recognize. And then we'll have a fun ceremony for them later. But yes,
The Wade Center?
that'll be in the Senate chambers. And again, if you don't know where that is, just come to the Wade Center. I'll bring everybody over.
Senator Cowan.
This is not me telling you guys to go. This is me simply informing you guys. Tomorrow morning at 11:45 a.m. on the steps of Fogler Library, the Students for a Democratic Society, Triota, and the Students for Jewish Voices for Peace will be hosting an anti-ICE rally, and a rally to protest terror caused by DHS. A lot of students on our campus are immigrants. A lot of students on our campus, their families are immigrants. A lot of students on this campus are scared. Point blank period. If you are scared, if you are not scared, if you would like to come and support, I would really encourage you to do so, but there's also no shame in not attending. This is up to your choice and what you choose to do with your safety and with your privilege.
Any more speakers? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the final roll?
President Tripp.
Still here.
Vice President Shelmerdine.
Here.
Vice President Baum. Here. Vice President Lehman. Here. Vice President Thompson.
Here.
Vice President Fang. Here. Director Leclerc. Here. Commissioner Stankiewicz.
Here.
Representative Britton.
Here.
Director Erica. Here. Senator Vanderwood. Here. Senator Schultz.
Here.
Senator Pierre. Here. Senator DeLorme. Here. Senator St. Lawrence. Here. Senator Cowan.
Here.
Senator Chapin. Here. Senator Santiago. Here. Senator Inman. Senator Dana.
Here.
Senator Ricker. Here. Senator Goodspeed. Here. Senator Zero. Here. Senator Malat. Here. Senator Van Dijk.
Here.
Senator Madrid.
Here.
Senator Oldfield.
Here.
Senator Rivera.
Here.
Senator Silver.
Here.
Senator Zelo. Here. Senator Cullimore.
Here.
Senator Sparks.
Here.
Senator Zucker.
Here.
Senator Karati.
Here.
Representative Pellet.
Here.
Representative Brunner.
Here.
Representative McMahon.
Here.
Representative Karpinski.
Here.
Representative Fancock.
Here.
Representative Emery. Representative Gamble. Representative Abed. Here. Representative Tremblay.
Here.
Representative Farrago.
Here.
Is there anybody I missed?
I forgot to say here.
I knew you were here.
Oh, okay.
Senator DeLorme,
Second.
hearing a second, if it's the pleasure of the Senate, we adjourn.